Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the National Stadium. A guaranteed brand new name on the FA Vase Trophy once we get to around 2 o'clock this afternoon, live on Talksport 2. Thatcham Town won it last year. Whitley Bay have won it 4 times, but for the first time it will either be Chertsey Town or Cray Valley that will end up as FA Vase champions for 2018-19. They both had a right old slog to get here, 10 games, home and away, tense penalty shootouts and plenty more. But Chertsey from Surrey and Cray Valley from the London Borough of Greenwich haven't had to travel too far to support their team, but I think it's fair to say that the Chertsey Town fans are here in greater numbers than those from the Cray Valley Paper Mills Club, who celebrate their centenary this year, 2019. Let me run you through the 2 team lineups. And for Chertsey Town, Nick Jupp is the goalkeeper. Sam Flegg, Michael Peacock, Quincy Rowe and Mason Welch-Turner are the back 4. Kevin McLaren in midfield, Dale Binns, Sam Murphy, Lewis Driver and Lubo Gentchev ahead of him, and Jake Baxter, the top scorer, as you heard Danso, with over 40 goals to his name this season, leads the line. As for Cray Valley, they play a slightly different system, more like a 3-5-2 than the 4-1-4-1 exhibited by Chertsey Town. Andy Walker is the goalkeeper, and then Chemtum Kaya, Ashley Sains and Liam Hickey in a back 3. Denzel Gale, Paul Semakula and Danny Smith will play 3 in midfield for Cray Valley, with Anthony Edgar and Ryan Flack on the flanks right and left. Kevin Lisby, known to many as a regular Premier League appearance maker with Charlton Athletic and other clubs, of course, played here in the League One playoff final for Leyton Orient, who are here later. That was back in 2014 when his side lost to Steve Evans Rotherham. Remember Steve Evans' trousers nearly falling down? I do, I was here that day. Not a pretty sight. So Lisby plays alongside Gavin Tomlin up front. On the bench for both sides for Chertsey, Lewis Gallifent, Lewis Jackson, Dave Taylor, Josh Pomeroy, Michael Kinsella, Danny Bennell and Andy Crossley. For Cray Valley, Darren Ibrahim, Brad Potter, Tyler Myers, Josh James, Francis Babalola, Lee Dawson and Callum Willock. We're ready for the off on Talksport 2 for the start of non-league finals day. Cray Valley, wearing all green, will be kicking towards the east stand side. Just to describe our commentary position, we're behind the dugouts, about halfway up the north stand side here at Wembley Stadium. So the Chertsey and Cray Valley fans are directly opposite us in the south stand underneath the TV gantry, and we are underway for non-league finals day on Talksport 2, with Cray Valley taking the kick-off and working it back straight away to Liam Hickey, one of 3 centre-halves at the back. It's sent forward by Danny Smith, looking for Lisby to win an early header, which he does, but it goes straight through to Nick Jupp in the Chertsey Town goal, wearing an all-purple get-up, whilst Chertsey outfield players are in their blue and white stripes, white shorts and blue socks. David Connolly's alongside me.
Well, he might be inching on to 40, but he's still got spring, hasn't he, Lisby? Got up really well there from that ball from Andrew. Great little flick on, but couldn't quite pick up the second balls.
Both these sides will be playing step 4 in non-league next year. 600 clubs started the path to the FA Vase final, and it's amazing just how far the professionalism goes, even when you get to the FA Vase tournament, never mind the FA Trophy, which Leyton Orient and AFC Fylde will contest later this afternoon. That's live on Talksport 2. Ball's headed up in the air at the back by Michael Peacock, arguably the player of the season for Chertsey Town this campaign. Ball's threaded up to halfway, and they try and get Lubo Gentchev away, but the ball's blocked out and thumped downfield with very little ceremony by Liam Hickey, and the referee today, who is Ross Joyce of the North Riding FA, he gives a throw to Chertsey on halfway. 0-0 with a minute and a half gone.
No, it's just going to settle down here, isn't it? Liam Hickey there clearing his lines. You'd like maybe to see him take a touch there and try and play us out. He was adamant that should have been his ball though. But looking at them, 2 contrasting styles, as you say. Cray Valley with that back 3, obviously. Chertsey with the back 4.
Throw-in sent downfield, and Kevin McLaren tries to send it forward for Chertsey Town, but it's been put out of play, so a chance for a throw-in for Cray Valley down the right-hand side. Anthony Edgar looking for Kevin Lisby, trying to be fleet of foot, and he's wriggled his way past a couple of challenges, tight to the touchline on the far side. He's still got the skills to pay the bills, as Kevin Lisby.
He has, yeah, bundled his way through there. Bit of a cynical foul, I think it was, from McLaren, the skipper.
Just to remind everybody, Kevin Lisby is 40 years of age. And he still looks as fit as a flea. And he's playing as one of two strikers for Cray Valley this afternoon, who, as I mentioned, celebrating their centenary year. And they can do a league and cup double in that centenary year. What an extraordinary climax that would be for Kevin Watson and his team. Kevin Watson, who's a deputy headmaster these days, never got the chance to play at Wembley. And he's listed in his programme notes how gutting that is for him personally. So he'll be living his life vicariously through his players this afternoon, David Connolly.
Yeah, I live it through my children at the minute in their football, so there's nothing wrong with that.
Ball's at the back with Cray Valley. Liam Hickey, wearing number 4, looks for Danny Smith out on this near side, the left. It's worked back in field to Anthony Edgar. Edgar elects to go all the way back to the Cray Valley keeper, who is Andy Walker, wearing all yellow this afternoon.
Well, you can see Kevin Watson there, Cray Valley manager. He wants them to play out. He doesn't want them really to go long, although I've got to be honest, they've won every flick on so far, the likes of Lisby and Tomlin.
Well, Lisby's the target for this one, and he's just lost out to Quincy Rowe, who heads it clear for Chertsey Town out to the left-hand side, and a chance for Chertsey to come forward down the left-hand side. The Curfews in attack, trying to get Dale Binns away into the area, across the face of goal, and the shot from Genshev didn't have the necessary power or direction, but it's come back out to Dale Binns on the Chertsey left. Good ball into the near post. Genshev with a header, flicked across the face of goal, but nobody there in blue and white to turn it home for Chertsey, but they still have possession on this near side of the field. It's worked in field to the skipper McLaren. Binns on the far post, plays it across the 6-yard line, might come to the far right hand side of the box. It's driven in by Sam Murphy, but blocked, and Cray Valley will bring it away with Anthony Edgar looking up to the halfway line, but nervous moments at the back as the Curfews came forward with purpose, David Connolly.
Well, it certainly was. I mean, Dale Binns done brilliantly down that left-hand side. Twice he got to the byline, once pulled it back. A little slip. It wasn't the greatest connection from Gunchev. I think it was on his right foot. He would have had a better chance of scoring. As it was, on his weaker left, he kind of scuffed it, but they kept it alive again. Went out to Binns. Another good pullback. Just couldn't find a man in blue and white.
Cray Valley in possession. We've played nearly 5 minutes on Talksport 2 in this FA Vase final between Chertsey Town and Cray Valley, and Chertsey Town are in possession, looking to the near side, the right hand side for Lubo Genshev, but it goes beyond the Bulgarian. His father, Boncho Genshev, I'm sure you remember that name, played in that famous Bulgarian squad that beat the Germans at USA 94 with that goal from Lechkov, Jordan Lechkov. Ball's gone out to the far right-hand side for Denzel Gale to retrieve for Cray Valley. Looking to come in field, little skip in field from Denzel Gale. Now he goes beyond Murphy, trying to get beyond Quincy Rowe, but the centre-half got there first for Chertsey and pokes it out of play, but Denzel Gale looks a tricky customer.
Yeah, really positive play here from Gale. Just stands his man up, tries to go down the line. Good positive play, but you can see the manager here from Cray Valley, Kevin Watson, he is kicking absolutely every ball.
Scored 10 goals in the Southern Counties division as Denzel Gale for Cray Valley. Ball's cleared it to halfway, little hurriedly from Chertsey Town, and Cray Valley have won it back. Anthony Edgar sends it out left to Danny Smith, and it goes back to Liam Hickey, and now Ashley Sains, the centre of the 3 centre halves for Cray Valley this afternoon. Giving chase down the right hand side is Paul Semakula. He's kept it in play. Gale inside the area right hand side, trying to twist and turn, finds Edgar inside the D, but with his back to goal has to spin away from a challenge and work it back into midfield. It's fired goalwards by Liam Hickey, but he's got underneath that and it sails over the crossbar for a Chertsey Town goal kick. Talksport 2 at the FA Vase final, 6.5 gone, it's goalless.
Oh, that was a good little move there. Gale done great into the box, faked across it, little turn back, couldn't quite pick out Edgar. In the end the shot was high and handsome. Maybe would have been better here, just keep him, recycle it, move the ball again. Liam Hickey, I think it is again, with the strike. Could have gone wide there, but positive play here from Cray. They've been impressive on the ball.
Chertsey Town's goal kick sent downfield by Nick Jupp, but it won't drop for Jake Baxter. their top scorer, and instead Cray Valley try and bring it down the right-hand side, but the clearance downfield from Chertsey just drifts out of play on the far side in front of those Chertsey fans in the south stand. Both sets of supporters for this FA Vase final are predominantly in that south stand opposite our commentary position, and there's a good at least 3,000, I would say, Chertsey Town supporters, maybe 2/3 of that in terms of the Cray Valley support, and there's 1 or 2 Leyton Orient fans and AFC Fylde fans drifting in to take in a bit of both games before they lock horns at 4:15. Lovely turn from Dale Binns for Chertsey inside his own half and plays it infield. It's knocked forward by Genchev, looking to release Baxter. Baxter just inside the Cray Valley half, has to run away from the challenge of Tunkaya, and they work the ball out to the near side, and Sam Flegg, the fullback, tall, rangy right back for Chertsey Town, trying to isolate Danny Smith and get a cross in. He's level with the edge of the penalty area, has to work it back for the skipper McLaren, gives it back to Flegg. Sam Flegg trying to get Chertsey going down this right hand side. Good strong run and a cross that's held comfortably by Andy Walker in the Cray Valley goal. 0-0.
That's a good move there from Chertsey. Dale Binns has been brilliant so far. Lovely little Cruyff turn to skip away into Gunchev, little ball round the corner into Baxter, away they go. I just wonder though, didn't really have enough players in the box there. Flegg with the cross, comfortable take for the goalkeeper.
Yeah, Dale Binns is 37, signed in August mainly to play on that left hand side of midfield where he is today for Chertsey. Spent most of his career at Hendon, also played for Wealdstone, Stevenage, Sutton United, who have a great recent cup pedigree, and more extensively Hayes and Yeading and Woking. So he's one of these players who's been around the London boroughs and around the counties, around the outside of the M25, plying his trade.
Well, just looking at the defensive line there from Chertsey, as Cray had it in the middle third, they were really high, almost 5 yards, just shy of the D of the halfway line. A lot of space in behind for the likes of Lisby and Tomlin. Just have to be careful there.
Long ball downfield for Chertsey by the goalkeeper Nick Jupp, and he was looking to get his man away, Lewis Driver, but Driver was fouling his man, Tunkaya, and so the Turkish centre half will have the free kick for Cray Valley.
Well, just looking at Jupp there, the Chertsey keeper, not really looking to play out. It's always going long from goal kicks, but with Baxter up top, he's not really going to retain it. He's only small, but Gunchev is quite close to him. That front three is very, very narrow. I just wonder if Cray can switch the ball, get it out wide, a bit like this. Maybe they could affect Chertsey.
Danny Smith goes up for a header with Sam Flegg, and the Chertsey full-back wins it. Anthony Edgar is fouled, held on to the ball as he fell, but the referee gave the free kick to his team, Cray Valley, anyway. Worked in field by Gavin Tomlin. Lisby trying to send it out to Denzel Gale on the Cray Valley right. It's intercepted, and away comes Dale Binns, who's had an excellent opening few minutes for Chertsey Town in this FA Vase final, live on Talksport 2. What a crossfield pass from Sam Murphy to pick out Genchev. Keeps the ball in play at the dead ball line, rolls it back, it struck goalwards and blocked away for a corner kick, in fact a goal kick. It came off Lewis Driver last of all, who Genchev tried to roll in inside the area, but it doesn't go Chertsey Town's way. It's merely a Cray Valley goal kick on Talksport 2, 0-0.
Well, it was a super switch of play here to open out the pitch. What a pass that is to pick out Gunchev. Looked like actually the keeper might come and get it. In the end, he just keeps it in play, right on the byline. Lovely little cut back. He was just unlucky with the finish. Didn't really connect. Obviously, the ricochet then came off him.
So Andy Walker will have the goal kick. Captain for Cray Valley. He's the dad of the group, apparently. He's the one that puts the rubbish music on in the changing rooms before the match. Did you ever have that responsibility?
So, is he a bit like the dance of Talksport?
They wouldn't dare have my music on in the dressing room before the game. I think
Planet Rock.
I might get away with a bit of Thunderstruck, and then they'd soon shut me up. Everyone loves a bit of Thunderstruck. Chertsey Town in possession. Ball rolled out to the left by Sam Murphy. Dale Binns again receiving it. He's seen a lot of the ball down the Chertsey left in these early stages. Wins a throw as well, level with the edge of the penalty area for Chertsey Town, 0-0.
He's just finding those little pockets, isn't he? Because they've got the back three here, Cray, but the right-sided centre-half, Tim Kerr, doesn't really want to go out there. When you're a centre-half, you don't want to get dragged out wide, so really he's looking for a bit of help from his wing-back. Isn't quite getting it at the minute.
Sam Murphy, former Hendon player, chests it down to the left-hand side. It's clipped over the top of the crossbar. That wasn't enough whip on the cross from Mason Welch-Turner, the Chertsey left-back, and so it'll be a goal kick once again to Cray Valley, known by their nickname of the Millers because it's based on a paper mill where the club was formed 100 years ago, and the colours that they wear, green and sometimes green and white, are the same as the paper mill company where the club was formed. And the Millers have this goal kick taken by the captain and goalkeeper Andy Walker, headed out of play by Michael Peacock, and that'll be a throw for Cray Valley on this near side, right in front of the technical areas, and Peacock again intercepts and puts it out for another throw, but this is further downfield, pretty much level with the edge of the penalty area. Danny Smith throws the ball in early, gets it back down the left hand side, tries to win a corner. He's done so, won a corner, the first of the game for Cray Valley, away to our left hand side of the east stand end of the ground, and a chance for the Millers to load the box here.
Well, there is, but actually Chertsey have left 2 up now, so that means then Cray have got to leave 3 back. They're just trying to take a few of their bigger players out the picture here.
Corner's taken by Ryan Flack to the far post. Lisby heads it down, and it's claimed on his goal line by Nick Jupp at his near post. 0-0.
Yeah, it's a really good ball in it. Terrific delivery from Flack. Lisby gets up, heads it down, doesn't really have the pace though to beat Jupp in the goal.
Edgar for Cray Valley on half line. They've won it back. Lisby's giving chase, and Tomlin's giving chase over the top to a ball hit down the inside right channel, but it's comfortable for Nick Jupp to collect for Chertsey Town. Welch Turner works it into the Cray Valley half for the Chertsey right-sided attacking midfielder Lubo Genshev to give chase. But Cray Valley clear it downfield. Lisby once again wins a flick on. Yeah. As you said, David Connolly, he's winning a lot of those, and he's not as tall as either Michael Peacock or Quincy Rowe at the back for Chertsey, so he's showing all of his experience about knowing where to stand and judging the flight of the ball. Absolutely,
he gets up early, just in front, and really good spring, but they are going back to front quite a lot here, Cray, and maybe they just need to get their foot on the ball and try and pass their way through the thirds, a bit like Chertsey are.
Ball over the top, trying to get Gavin Tomlin away for Cray Valley. He's up to the edge of the area, right-hand corner. Gale just inside him, but Tomlin goes on, plays the ball to the far post, looking for Lisby. It's cleared away hurriedly by Peacock, kept in play on the far side of the field by Dale Binns, and Chertsey can clear their lines. We're getting up to the quarter-hour mark here in the FA Vase final, live on Talksport 2, and it's a pretty even contest between Chertsey Town and Cray Valley here, with Cray Valley in possession. Flack dispossessed, allows Sam Murphy to bring the ball away. Young live midfielder, clipped though by Danny Smith. Ball breaks for the skipper, Kevin McLaren. He works it out to the left for Mason Welch Turner, the Chertsey left back. Binns again, immediately closed down by Paul Semakula in the Cray Valley midfield, and then a hurried clearance in field from Quincy Rowe allows Cray Valley just to knock it downfield, asking Lisby to give chase, and Lisby has got the better of Peacock, but he fouled him down the left-hand side of the box. Lisby disagrees with the referee, Ross Joyce, but that is a free kick to Chertsey, but a nervy moment for Michael Peacock at the back for Chertsey.
Well, I think that was generous, to be honest. I thought he'd done really well there, Lisby. Good pressure on Peacock, who took too long. He knows he's not really going to have the time here. Lisby still got the legs, hasn't he? Just intercepted there, knocked it around Peacock, but to be honest, yeah, it looked like he caught him on the leg. Probably the right call. But I think that's a warning for him, Peacock. He's got to deal with that ball much, much earlier.
Chertsey with a free kick then. Sent downfield from Nick Jupp. Headed back with interest by Sains into the Chertsey half, and now a free kick's been given against the Chertsey skipper on the halfway line. Kevin McLaren for backing into Ryan Flack. Chertsey got a record goal total on their way to the final. 28 goals in their FA Vase ties to get to this Wembley final this afternoon. Over 3,000 tickets sold for the curfews. That name comes from the church bell that hangs in the nearby St Peter's Church, from where the club takes its name.
Well, they scored a lot of goals. They didn't concede many either. I think it was only 4, but obviously they're up against a front 2 here today. We've got bags of goals and experience in them. Really got the quality to play much, much higher, and they have previously, so they will be tested at the back today, Chertsey.
Here is Liam Hickey for Cray Valley, one of these centre halves. Played back for Ashley Sains. Works it to the other centre half on the right for Cray Valley. Chemtum Kaya. Coming short is Anthony Edgar. Plays the ball into the midfield, and Lisby tries to work it out to the right hand side for Denzel Gale, but It eludes Gale and goes out of play for a Chertsey throw. 0-0.
Well, they look at the back, good at the back, don't they, Cray, when they got the ball, and in the front, but it's just in that middle third at the minute. It's not quite clicking for them. Play's breaking down, a couple of misplaced passes, and they don't look as comfortable as Chertsey, certainly in the midfield area.
It's the FA Vase final, live on Talksport 2 as part of non-league finals day. 4:15 this afternoon, we will also bring you AFC Fylde against Leyton Orient, the National League champions, of course. Ball over the top, trying to get Ryan Flack in behind for Cray Valley, but it's too long and too straight. He did have the pace to get in behind, but the ball's gone straight through to the Chertsey keeper, Nick Jupp. 0-0.
That was a terrific run there. Lovely ball over the top, and then Flack making that third man run, just splitting the two centre forwards. Terrific.
Scored in the first leg of the semi-final, did Ryan Flack, but they've got some defending to do here at Cray Valley, because Chertsey have lobbed the ball out to this near side to bring Sam Flegg into the game, the full-back. Flegg looks up, rolls it down the right-hand side of the box, asking Genchev to try and tease and torment the back line. His cross is half cleared. Genchev felt he was pulled over down this near side. Ball's been worked forward and picked up by Peacock. Finds Sam Murphy. Murphy with an early ball into the area. Chance for an overhead kick, is over the bar. Good effort from Lewis Driver, I think it was, who had the final effort. Ball was clipped in by Genchev, and in fact it was Jake Baxter, forgive me, who had the effort in the end. Went about 3 or 4 yards over. Goal kick it is to Cray Valley, and it stays 0-0 on Talksport 2.
Well, that's got the crowd going. Lovely invention here. Brilliant just to pop it up with his right foot. Just dipped over the head, and then a little bicycle kick. Couldn't quite keep it down, but lovely ability and skill. And when Chertsey are going forward, I think that's their best option, trying to get the ball into the box with a lower delivery. A couple of times in the air it's been flighted, and really hasn't got much chance. Baxter in the air.
Another flick on one by Lisby, and he's picked the ball up and has an early drive from 30 yards, and it goes snaking wide of Nick Jupp's right-hand post. Didn't really get hold of it, Kevin Lisby, but again he won the initial flick on from the goal kick downfield. Yeah,
again he's a real handful. Not the cleanest of connections. Maybe could have taken it another yard or two closer. Goal was about 25 yards out. Just scuffed his shot, but you can tell he's keen just to get an effort on goal. I think when you're a centre forward and you haven't really had that much of the ball, and certainly it's only really come in the air, as soon as you get a chance you just want to get a shot off, get some confidence.
Of course he's a coach along with Kevin Watson, Kevin Lisby, at the Cray Valley club, and he looks on as Cray Valley win a free kick, a foul on Paul Semakula, and Liam Hickey thought about taking it quickly, and it is worked out to Danny Smith on the left-hand side for Cray Valley. Floats it up to the edge of the area, trying to find Lisby, but it's overhit this time. And back it goes to Nick Jupp, the keeper, signed this season from Harrow Borough for Chertsey Town. But his goal kick downfield is picked up again by Cray Valley, this time by Anthony Edgar, and there's a perceptible shift. I think Chertsey had the opening 10 minutes, probably, David Connolly, particularly with Dale Binns down the left, but much more confidence being shown by Cray Valley lately.
Well, there is. I mean, if they can force Chertsey into that longer ball, they are going to keep it, but that's a really poor
as soon as I say
pass.
That, commentator's curse from Ashley Sains as he passes the ball straight out of play for a throw to Chertsey, which is, 5 or 6 yards inside the Cray Valley half. Sam Murphy rolls it back to Sam Flegg. Infield it goes to the skipper, McLaren. Now Murphy again. Good ball played into the edge of the area by Genchev, and then Lewis Driver tries to win a corner. It's headed clear, almost drops for Genchev, right-hand corner of the box, and then a wasted clearance from Sains. Comes back to Dale Binns. Baxter at the edge of the D, trying to turn away from trouble. It's worked out to Sam Murphy, right-hand corner of the box. Murphy, under pressure, has to roll it back 10 yards or so to Flegg. Murphy gets it back and elects to play infield for McLaren. Up it goes to Binns. Good early ball out to Genchev, right-hand side. Dummies to cross. Moves into the area, right-hand side. Trying to drop his shoulder. Clip the ball to the far post, and nobody there in Chertsey blue and white. And it may well go out to play on the far side of the field, although Welsh Turner's done really well to retrieve it for the curfews. And he still has it, Welsh Turner, the left back. Gets up to the left-hand corner of the box before he loses out. And then a crunching challenge sees Denzel Gale come away with the ball at first, and the referee's finally brought play back for one of those challenges that flew in on the far side of the field. But we've just seen there, David Connolly, at 0-0, excellent work on the right from Chertsey Town.
Absolutely fantastic football here. Lovely little give and go. I think it's McLaren, little round the corner ball into Gunchev, then into Driver. Eventually it ends up with Gunchev. Lovely ball across the box, but they're just caught on their heels there, the Chertsey players, particularly the front two. Baxter and Driver got to make those runs. They've been caught on the heels a couple of times now.
Paul Semakula, good spin in the centre circle. Lisby though loses out, probably for the first time this afternoon, to Quincy Rowe. And it's Baxter heading down the left-hand side, the goal-getter for Chertsey Town. Ball's rolled into Lewis Driver, tries to turn it round the corner at the edge of the area, trying to get Dale Binns in behind. But Cray Valley can just let that ball dribble over the dead ball line for a goal kick to the Millers. 0-0 on Talksport 2. It's the FA Vase final. We're midway through the first half at Wembley Stadium.
Well, it's very even, Stephen, isn't it? You'd have to say at the minute. Both sides, I think, just feeling each other out. Obviously, they haven't played each other, so, you know, they're probably unsure about how each other plays, how they line up. Obviously, know some of the strengths and weaknesses. They would have watched all the videos, but until you really play against each other, you don't really quite know where their strengths lie. And at the minute, you'd have to say the front two of Cray, a real handful. Look at that, another good flick on.
Here's Gale playing the ball into the area. Flax trying to get onto it inside the box, but Nick Jupp, the Chertsey keeper, swiftly off his line to claim it just ahead of his 6-yard box.
Oh, it was a right idea from Gale. He spotted the run there. Flack again, making another good third-man run. Just overhit the pass, Gale.
Ball drops for Semakula in the Cray Valley midfield. Thumped forward by the centre-half Chem Tukaya, but there's nobody up there that far downfield, so Chertsey can build again from the back with Sam Flegg, the right-back. Lewis Driver finds his skipper McLaren on the halfway line, almost lost possession but did well to win it back. Driver again knocks it down for Michael Peacock. Peacock, the Chertsey centre half, looks up and fires a ball up to the right hand corner of the box looking for Jake Baxter, but that's well dealt with by Ashley Sains, and it's back with the Cray Valley keeper. 0-0.
Yeah, see, that's the difference. When Chertsey go back to front, the likes of Baxter, he's not really going to retain that in the air, and if he does win it, which he won't because he's a good foot, probably smaller, then there's no one gambling in behind, whereas Cray got that front two are really good in the air, Lisby and Tomlin.
Semakula out to the right hand side to get Tumkaya into the game. Semakula again rolls the ball into the feet of Gavin Tomlin, holds the ball at Willem Flack, trying to release Lisby in behind, but again the ball's just hit a little too straight and it's claimed by the keeper.
That deftness, I mean, they're close, it's close to coming off, because when they're playing in the middle third, Cray, Chertsey are squeezing really high, there's an awful lot of grass in behind. If they can get that ball right, the timing of the runs is perfect, it's just the weight of the pass.
If you're just tuning in, you're listening to Non-League Finals Day on Talksport 2. We're live at Wembley Stadium. Delighted to be bringing you both the FA Vase and FA Trophy finals. The FA Trophy is at 4:15 between AFC Fylde and Leyton Orient. Right now, we are 25 minutes into the FA Vase final between Chertsey Town and Cray Valley. And Chertsey Town, having started well in this game, just seem to be losing their way a little bit. And Cray Valley are starting to gain confidence with the 1- and 2-touch football they're playing.
They certainly are. I mean, what Chertsey have, they've got an overload in certain parts of the pitch, in the middle of the park, for example, where they're not really going there. They're just going back to front from Jupp, maybe into Baxter, for example, and Driver, but they're not going to retain it from a long goal kick. I just think they maybe need to be a little bit braver on the ball. But who are they going to hit from goal kicks? They don't have a particularly tall, wide man, so unless they push a centre-half or a wing-back high, it's just going to keep coming straight back.
Three sides from in and around the capital are here today contesting non-league finals day. AFC Fylde, the odd team out, coming from the northwest coast, and there's one or two Fylde fans already here taking in this FA Vase final. Leyton Orient fans here too, as Semakula rolls the ball up to Lisby for Cray Valley, edge of the area, back to goal. Denzel Gale now picks it up, looks to drive to the byline right hand side, plays the ball in near post, and Flegg couldn't prevent the corner kick. And Cray Valley have their second corner of the afternoon at 0-0.
Semakula, lovely ball into Lisby. He could actually receive in the box, unmarked. Yeah, someone behind him, but under no real pressure. They've got to try and block that ball into the front, out wide to Gale. Got to the byline, one inside the corner. But again, you can see Chertsey, that's their tactic. Although they're defending the corner, they're leaving two up top, which means Cray Valley got to leave three back.
Corner kick for Cray Valley. Up goes Jupp. It actually goes over his head, and no one there at the far post from Flack's corner. And Quincy Rowe, one of the centre-halves for Chertsey, will bring it away. Little flick into the Cray Valley half by Jake Baxter, trying to send Gentchev away. But that's comfortably back with Andy Walker, the Cray Valley keeper, at 0-0.
Well, the other thing you can say about leaving two up top is if you do win possession from the corner, you got two out balls immediately. But that first pass has got to be secure. It's a really poor one there. A little one-touch ball around the corner. Get hold of it first.
Danny Smith looking to get Tomlin away. Down the left-hand side, Peacock almost looked like he'd lost possession for Chertsey at first, and he has indeed conceded a throw. And Peacock's getting asked a lot of questions by both Tomlin and Lisby as Cray Valley come forward again with Gavin Tomlin. Works it back to Danny Smith, level with the edge of the penalty area left-hand side. It's now worked in field for Ryan Flack and Semakula now, faced up by Dale Binns, who's come in field to help bolster the numbers. Crossing from Hickey, looking for Lisby, headed clear by Peacock under pressure, and back it comes to McLaren, the Chertsey skipper, and the chest down from Baxter is not good enough, and it's picked up by Anthony Edgar for Cray Valley, who's thinking about trying a drive 30 yards out. Instead he steps in field, ball taken off his toe by Lewis Driver, but it comes out to Danny Smith, rolls the ball up to the edge of the area. Gale goes in, crunching challenge from Quincy Rowe, but he won the ball, and now it's a counter-attack potential for Chertsey Town. Dale Binns now back out on the left-hand side, leaves it for Welsh Turner, the left-back, who strides forward into the Cray Valley half. Out goes the centre-half to engage him. Down the left-hand side of the box for Gentchev, who's offside, and it stays 0-0, and the pace is starting to build in the FA Vase final here on Talksport 2.
It certainly is. I mean, Cray have certainly got the upper hand at the minute. They look really threatening going forward, but then when Chertsey get the ball, that first pass is poor, or it goes into Baxter, little one-touch layoff. I mean, when you haven't seen the ball that much, your first thought as a centre-forward to me is just get hold of it, be that platform to build from, and at the minute they're just a bit too loose in possession, Chertsey.
Cray Valley in possession. Scored 29 goals on their way to the final. They won 7-0 in one of those games against Badshot Lee in the second round, and they're coming forward with Tomlin looking for Lisby inside the area, and also Edgar had come forward, and a hurried clearance from Welsh Turner means it's a throw to Cray Valley, left-hand side, level with the edge of the Chertsey box, 0-0.
Well, they're on the ropes at the minute, Chertsey. They just need to regroup here, otherwise they could concede.
Liam Hickey finds Gavin Tomlin inside the area, left-hand side, looking to isolate his defender, goes inside him, might drop on the volley, and it's driven away by Danny Smith and blocked at the far post by his opposite number, Welsh Turner. Binns now trying to counter for Chertsey Town, looking to drop his shoulder and get away from Semakula, playing it down the left-hand side, asking an awful lot of Jake Baxter, tidied up by the centre-halves at the back for Cray Valley. But the clearance downfield is intercepted by McLaren, and now Dale Binns runs into the centre-half Tumkaya, who's fouled him right at the left-hand corner of the penalty area, and that's a free kick for Chertsey Town away to our right-hand side, 0-0.
Well, Dale Binns has been so bright, hasn't he, this first half. He's a standout player for Chertsey. They just need to get him the ball a little bit more often. However, his pass to Baxter was overhit, but still they picked up the second ball. McLaren, lovely interception into Binns. He's been brilliant. Just can they get him on the ball a little bit more often?
Yeah, clear instruction by Chem Tumkaya. And so, two players standing over the free kick at that left-hand corner of the penalty area. Sam Murphy is one, and Lubomir Gentchev is the other, and Gentchev looks favourite. There's a wall inside the penalty area in Cray Valley Green. Only a couple of players in it, and Gentchev stands hands on hips at the left-hand corner of the penalty area. Up he steps, right-footed, round the wall. Good save by Andy Walker. Tips it over the bar, had to get something on that. That was going in from Lubo Gentchev, and it is a corner to Chertsey Town, 0-0.
Oh, wonderful little tip over from Walker. Gentchev was aiming for that far corner, a little bit of bend on it. I'm not sure if he was going for goal there. It was kind of a cross-come shot. Good delivery. Got an excellent right foot. I just wondered, though, was Walker a little bit off his line, maybe a yard or two too high? Despite his age, though, what is he, 37? Got up really well there. Terrific little tip over.
But Gentchev will have the corner for Chertsey Town. 0-0 on Talksport 2 in the FA Vase final. Gentchev's corner in front of goal. Peacock puts the hands to his head. He couldn't connect at the near post. Felt he was favourite to get there, but instead Cray Valley trying to counter-attack. But in steps McLaren to win the ball on the halfway to stop Dental Gale getting away, and it's flicked in field. And now Cray Valley will pick it up. How close was Michael Peacock to getting on that Gentchev corner for Chertsey?
It's a brilliant ball in, just aimed at the near post, went over the first zonal marking man. Peacock, maybe it was just a fraction over his head. He held his head in his hands. He knew that was close.
Stays 0-0 in the FA Vase final on Talksport 2. We've got about 14 minutes until half-time here at Wembley Stadium. As the Millers come forward with Gavin Tomlin, nutmegs McLaren, tries to nutmeg another player, Quincy Rowe, to get it through to Lisby at the edge of the area. But Chertsey get it clear. One back by Denzel Gale. Now Tomlin looking to play Ryan Flack in. Flack's in behind inside the area. Heavy touch means he's got away from him, and in fact he was flagged offside as he went through at the edge of the Chertsey penalty area. So it's a free kick to the Curfews at their own 18-yard line. 0-0 on Talksport 2.
Oh, they look so bright, Cray, when they're going forward. Certainly out on this left-hand side. Danny Smith has got a lovely left foot. In the end, they work it through. Great run again from Flack. He was onside to me. That wasn't offside. I don't know, maybe did the ball touch his hand? I don't think so, but I think the assistant referee got that wrong.
Free kick to Chertsey Town. Thumped downfield by the keeper, Nick Jupp. Out to the left-hand side. He was looking for Dale Binns, but a good strong header clear from Denzel Gale. And they've got numbers in behind again here of Cray Valley. Anthony Edgar latches onto a ball sent down the right-hand side. Only Lisby in the box at the moment for the Millers. Gale holding the ball up. Right-hand side, looks to go beyond Sam Murphy, but his first touch allowed Murphy to get back at him. But Murphy, in trying to clear it down the left-hand touchline, couldn't stop it going out of play for a Cray Valley throw. 0-0.
Well, that attack just came from the Chertsey goal kick. I mean, really, Jupp doesn't really know who to hit. He's got no real height, as we said earlier. Now, I've seen teams like, for example, Leicester, with no height up top in the Premier League. They push Ben Chilwell up high and aim for him. Chertsey need to do something like that. Get a defender, a fullback up high, aim for him. Can he win the flick on? Then the likes of Baxter and Driver can gamble off that. At the minute, everything is just coming straight back.
Throw into Cray Valley as they attack down the right-hand side here at Wembley Stadium. 0-0 in the FA Vase final. 12 minutes to the break. And it's Denzel Gale with the throw. Finds Gavin Tomlin, tries to give it back to Gale. Tumkaya can't keep hold of the ball for Cray Valley. Driver leaves it for McLaren, and here comes Chertsey on the counter-attack with Lubo Genchev. He's only got Jake Baxter ahead of him. Plenty of green shirts around him. Tries to find Baxter, but the ball was played just behind his centre-forward, and Cray Valley can bring the ball away. 0-0.
Oh, it's just not clicking for Chertsey at the minute. That final pass, the quality in the final third is just not there. Nowhere near the same as Cray Valley.
And Denzel Gale has it again for Cray Valley on their right-hand side. Semakula with a neat ball over to this near touchline. And Danny Smith. Lisby now hugging the left-hand touchline, trying to get away from Sam Flegg. Elects to hold on to the ball rather than cross it. Rolls it back to Ryan Flack. Flack 25 yards out, trying to get away from Sam Murphy and unleash a shot. It's blocked by Murphy, and it will drop for Chertsey. And Dale Binns inside his own half plays it up to the halfway line, and Jake Baxter, good hold-up play from Baxter, holds off the attentions of a defender, and Binns has it again and looks for Baxter, who's now run forward. Baxter clips the ball into the area. Genchev's making a run left-hand side of the box. Oh, he tried to pull it across the face of goal. Lewis Driver was waiting for a ball across the face, but the ball was lobbed too high and away from him, and Cray Valley end up getting a throw. 0-0.
He's a little bit better though. I mean, McLaren in the middle of the park, he just keeps it nice and simple, doesn't he? He finds that little release ball, and Binns has been brilliant. I mean, he's a standout player here. But I'm looking at Chertsey, it's hard to say. I mean, their shape is a 4-3-3, but they've got no width whatsoever down on this right-hand side, and that's where Cray are getting so much joy.
Tomlin in behind Peacock as Cray Valley attack. Tomlin into the area! Gavin Tomlin gives Cray Valley the lead with 10 minutes to half-time. Got the better of Michael Peacock. He's been threatening to do that all half, and Gavin Tomlin, vastly experienced with clubs like Brentford and Yeovil and Torquay, has scored another goal for Cray Valley. He scored 13 in the league. Now he scored in the FA Vase final to put Cray Valley 1 up.
Tomlin, terrific little finish here, but we were just speaking about this right-hand side down here for Chertsey. He had nothing here, there's no real shape. That's where all the attacks are coming from Cray Valley. Lovely little ball into the channel, and Peacock, look, he doesn't really have the pace. Tomlin outstripped him there, great little run in behind. Give him a little nudge, then he's 1v1 with the goalkeeper. Can he keep his composure? It's tight, it's acute. Normally, you might go across goal, instead he's reversed it, gone near post, low, hard, keeper absolutely no chance.
So the FA Vase final has its first goal of the afternoon. Chertsey Town 0, Cray Valley 1, and less than 10 to the break, and Chertsey trying to respond immediately through Lewis Driver, wriggling towards the end of the area, and he's brought down by Ashley Sains, and a proper free kick opportunity here for Chertsey to respond. It's 25 yards out, just to the right of centre, perfect for a left-footed up and down free kick aimed at goal.
It's a poor area to give away a free kick. I mean, it's a few yards, maybe 5 or 6 outside the box. I mean, this is the worst thing. We've seen this so often. We saw it at the Valley. You score a goal and immediately you concede. We saw that. Donny scored and then immediately Charlton go and score a minute later. Once you score, you just want to keep the ball for a little spell, kill the game. Don't give the opponents an opportunity to get back in. They've got one here, though.
And there's a bit of a conflab going on between Lubo Genchev and Sam Murphy. And looks like Sam Murphy's pacing out a run to have a drive at goal. A right-footed effort then. There's a 4-man Cray Valley wall, round about level with a penalty spot inside the area. Binns is lurking on the right-hand side of the box. Murphy's free kick hits the wall and goes behind for a corner kick to Chertsey Town. 1-0 Cray Valley.
There's an appeal for a handball there. I mean, he's gone low, trying to go round the outside of the wall. There was a big gap there, but I think the appeal was more in hope than vain.
Non-league finals day on Talksport 2. All the playoff finals on Talksport over the next weekend on Saturday, Sunday and Monday for the end of the EFL season. Genchev with a corner for Chertsey. Up go the head to the far post, off the post and put it in the second attempt. And it looks like Sam Flegg to me, who's got the equalising goal for Chertsey Town. Initially a shot came off the post and tucked away for 1-1. And Chertsey have got themselves level with 7 minutes to half-time. Chertsey 1, Cray Valley 1.
Again, it's another terrific ball in from Gunchev. But I just think they got their marking all wrong here, Cray, because Chertsey work it. They just dragged someone out short. It brought the 2 players at the near post out the way. That allowed a massive hole to deliver the ball into Chertsey. They got up first, so they came back off the post, and there's Flegg just to tap it into the empty net. But they got done here on a set piece. It's a well-worked routine. You can tell that, Chertsey.
Well, Sam Flegg up from full-back. He is a tall, rangy full-back. Got the initial head on it, bounced off the post, and with keeper Andy Walker prostrate on the ground, he couldn't move. Easy task for Flegg at the second attempt to follow up and side-foot it in with his right for 1-1 on Talksport 2 in the FA Vase final.
Well, they did have a warning, didn't they, a few minutes ago from the same side, that corner. Gunchev, he's got really good delivery. That area at the near post space, I mean, you can tell they've worked on that, Chertsey. Just by dragging one of your players coming short, it just took 2 of the Cray Valley defenders out the way, create a really big hole around that near post area.
Well, he's really made the full-back position his own, Sam Flegg. He didn't start the season in that position. Signed at the start of the campaign, was with Tooting and Mitcham United last campaign. Spent most of his career at Hendon, and he's brought Chertsey Town level, and he's looking to get in possession again, with Sam Murphy looking to feed him, but it's intercepted by Semakula. And here come Cray Valley trying to respond. We've got 5 minutes to half-time on Talksport 2. 1-1 in the FA Vase final. Good run from Denzel Gale down the right for Cray Valley. Ball into the area looking for Lisby, but that's well claimed at his near post by Chertsey keeper Nick Jupp. 1-1.
Yeah, Gale again, he's been really bright down this right-hand side. Good ball into the box. A little bit overhit, though. Good take from Jupp. I mean, they've got back in the game really quickly. We just said, didn't we? Once you score, can you kill the game? I mean, it came from that free kick, given a really poor free kick. Obviously, goes out for a corner. And now it's 1-1.
Light rain falling at Wembley Stadium. Slightly leaden skies above us. And here comes Sam Flegg, who's a triathlete. Arguably the fittest player at Chertsey Town, and he's brought them level, having seen his header come off the post from Genchev's corner and following up to equalise. Free kick quickly taken on halfway by Cray Valley, and Ryan Flack looks to release Danny Smith down the left. No one in the box for him yet. Has to hold the ball up, tries to get inside Peacock, who looks a little flat-footed at times at the back for Chertsey Town, but it's had to go back into the Cray Valley midfield and Semakula.
Well, Sam Flegg's just got to give Peacock a little bit of protection here.
Lisby's offside as he receives the ball at the edge of the area, tries to chip Nick Jupp, who got fingertips to it, but the whistle had long since gone. But yeah, Flegg might have to come out and help his centre-half more often than not here.
Well, the problem he's got is obviously with the wing-backs that they're playing, Cray Valley, that Flegg goes out to engage Danny Smith, for example. It just leaves a little bit of a gap in that channel, and a couple of times now Peacock's been isolated, and that time, obviously, even Danny Smith fancied his chances against him, trying to take him on. I mean, if Tomlin gets down there, as we've already seen, or Lisby, then they're in big trouble.
Absolutely brilliant to be here at Wembley Stadium, as we were last year on Talksport 2 for non-league finals day. FA Trophy final to come at 4:15 between Fylde and Leyton Orient, as Semakula's ball across the midway point of his own half was almost intercepted by Lubo Genshev, but it is still with Cray Valley down the left-hand side, and their goal scorer Gavin Tomlin waits in the middle as Edgar picks up possession. Semakula just ahead of the halfway line finds Danny Smith, the left-sided midfielder. Now it's brought forward by Liam Hickey, coming forward from centre-half, drops his shoulder to get away from Genshev, and then in trying to play the ball down the left-hand side, slipped as he tried to play the pass, and it just shanked out of play for a goal kick to Chertsey Town away to our left. And we're counting down to about 2 minutes to half-time, plus stoppages here on Talksport 2. 1-1.
Well, that rain will just give that surface a little bit of zip on it, so you can move the ball quicker. I've got to say, Cray seemed to possess the quicker players, certainly on the counter-attack. They got some pace in that side. Edgar, for example, Flack bombs forward well. Tomlin, Lisby, got plenty of pace.
Goal kick downfield from Jupp can't be kept in play by Lubo Genshev, and that's another example of what you're talking about, getting height from goal kicks to work the ball back in field. Absolutely.
I mean, I've seen numerous sides do this. If you don't have particular height up top, and you don't really want to play out, well, if you keep kicking long, it's just going to go straight back to the opposition. So, for example, at Stamford Bridge, Leicester played Chelsea. They had no real height up top, but they pushed Ben Chilwell really, really high, almost as a winger, to try and win the first one, and Chertsey might try something like that.
Thoughts of David Connolly alongside me, Ian Danter, on Talksport 2 this Sunday afternoon at Wembley Stadium for non-league finals day. 1-1 between Cray Valley and Chertsey, and Cray Valley playing the ball forward for Kevin Lisby, the vastly experienced former Jamaican international. Cleared away by Chertsey, but Dale Binns can't retrieve possession for the Curfews, and so it's back with the Millers just inside their own half. And now Danny Smith for Cray Valley brings the ball over the halfway line, finds Gavin Tomlin up against Sam Flegg, the two goal scorers in direct opposition for a moment. And now Danny Smith again for Cray Valley, looks for Anthony Edgar, plays a little 1-2 with Ryan Flack, and sees a run being made by Chemtrum Kaya down the right-hand side. Now Denzel Gale for Cray Valley, giving chase down the right, looking to get the better of the left-back for Chertsey, Welsh turning. He's got inside him, and Dale Binns, who then shouldered him to the ground. Foul given. Lovely spin and turn by Denzel Gale. Almost got away into the area right-hand side, but for an obstruction from Dale Binns. Free kick, Cray Valley, 1-1.
Oh, terrific little turn here from Denzel Gale. Great run into the channel. Just held it up against Welsh Turner, and Dale Binns came back to help him. A couple got in between both of them, one inside a free kick. There's a real live wire, and he's got bags of pace and power, isn't he?
Real tough customer. Binns just stepped across him, nudged him over.
This is almost like a corner. They're very deep, close to the corner flag here. Really good area
from Chertsey, but lots of green Cray Valley shirts massed at the far post, about level with the penalty spot, including the three centre-halves who are all up from the back, sent to the far post. Sains is the closest to it, but there was a push by Lisby, who went to ground, and so a free kick's been given to Chertsey inside their own box, and we're into 1 minute of minimum stoppage time at the end of this first half in the FA Vase final on Talksport 2, and we're all square at one apiece.
Yeah, it's been a really entertaining half, certainly first 45. Plenty of good play. I think at half-time it will be key for both managers here, Kevin Watson and Dave Anderson, just to, remind his players about how each side plays, what their strengths and weaknesses, how we're going to affect things in the second half. Certainly felt each other out here this first 45.
And the referee brings the first half to a close. And it's been a terrific first 45 minutes between these two sides, who both won promotion from Step 5 of non-league and are trying to add a cup double. Gavin Tomlin gave Cray Valley the lead 10 minutes from half-time after rolling his defender, getting inside the area and slotting home at the near post. But only a couple of minutes later, Chertsey won a corner, swung in by Lubo Gentchev. Sam Flegg up for a header, came off the post, back to the fullback Flegg, and he tucked it away to bring us a half-time score in the FA Vase final here on Talksport 2 of Cray Valley 1, Chertsey Town 1. Thanks, Dan. Doesn't appear that there are going to be any half-time substitutions for either the Curfews or the Millers, as our referee Ross Joyce also emerges from the tunnel down beneath us. We really do have a superb vantage point when Talksport comes to Wembley Stadium, and of course we'll be here en masse for Talksport next weekend for the 3 playoff finals, Saturday, Sunday and Monday for League 2, League 1 and the Championship. And our commentary position is halfway up the north stand side. We're directly behind the 2 managerial dugouts and the tunnel. Opposite us, the 3,000 or so Chertsey Town fans and the maybe 1,800 Cray Valley fans who packed into that south stand to support their teams. And more, David Connolly, Fylde and Orient fans on our side of the stadium are drifting in to take in this FA Vase final that's about to restart here. Yeah, and it's going to be a really good occasion, but I think actually there's more Chertsey fans than we thought. There looks pretty packed over there. That might be closer to 4,000 or 5,000, I think. 1 or 2 still to drift back from their half-time pie and a pint, and we're back underway for the second half of the FA Vase final. Chertsey wearing their blue and white striped shirts, white shorts and blue socks. They're kicking towards the east stand side away to our left as we look at the back of the north stand here at Wembley Stadium. Cray Valley, wearing all green this afternoon, are then heading to the west stand. I'll run you through the lineups in just a moment here on Talksport 2 as Nick Jupp, the Chertsey goalkeeper, looks to thump the ball downfield, looking for top scorer Jake Baxter, but that's headed away at the back by Liam Hickey. Work back infield, and Ashley Sains puts his foot through the ball to lob it into the Chertsey half of the field. Well won by Anthony Edgar, and Denzel Gale, who's looked bright and breezy down the Cray Valley right, has possession early in this second half. Looks to play a 1-2 with Flack, almost got him behind. What a smashing bit of defending from Mason Welch-Turner, the Chertsey left back, to retrieve the ball and keep it away from Denzel Gale. And then Dale Binns is clattered into by Tumkaya, and that might be a yellow card for Tumkaya on the totting up procedure. Couple of nibbles in the first half at Binns, and now he's got himself a booking, the first of the game. Yeah, as you say though, terrific tackle there from Welch-Turner. Went to ground, had to time it perfectly, he did. And obviously on the turnover there, Tumkaya's got to be careful. Obviously he knows he has to get tight to Dale Binns, but now he's been booked, he's got to be even more careful. So Chertsey have Nick Jupp in goal, Sam Flegg, who scored their equaliser, Michael Peacock, Quincy Rowe and the aforementioned Mason Welch-Turner as a back four. Kevin McLaren holds in midfield, and then Lubo Gentchev, Sam Murphy, Lewis Driver and Dale Binns in behind lone striker Jake Baxter in a 4-1-4-1 formation for the Curfews. As for the Millers of Cray Valley, we'll just break off for a minute as they're trying to win the ball back inside the Chertsey half, but it's Welch-Turner that brings it away for Chertsey. The left back gets into the centre circle and tries to release his fellow fullback Sam Flegg on the far side of the field. Flegg looks up and hits a diagonal ball up to the edge of the area. Lewis Driver, good first touch from him. It's only half cleared by Cray Valley, and Sam Murphy works it back out to the right hand side, and here's Flegg once again. Gets to about 25 yards from the dead ball line. Works it out to the right hand side, and might be a chance for Sam Murphy to latch onto a crossfield ball, but anywhere will do from Denzel Gale. Finds Kevin Lisby, who nodded on, but Quincy Rowe wins it back. Cray Valley have Andy Walker in goal. It's a three-man back line of Tumkaya, Ashley Sains and Liam Hickey. Denzel Gale, Paul Semakula, Danny Smith, Ryan Flack and Anthony Edgar in midfield, with Kevin Lisby and Gavin Tomlin up front. And early in this second half, we've only played nearly 2.5 minutes. Chertsey have won a corner away to our right hand side, which Gentchev will take at 1-1. Just a couple of times now though, just looking at Cray, they're giving the ball away, gone into the front too keen to maybe lay it off first time. Tomlin and Lisby just get hold of it because they've got plenty of time, more time than they think Chertsey are dropping off them. Gentchev will take the corner kick. This is how Chertsey Town got themselves level in the first half, and the header is over the top. It's Flegg again who got his head to the ball, but this time he couldn't keep it down, and it ripples the top of the net as it goes over for a goal kick to Cray Valley. Stays 1-1.
Well, Flegg with an absolutely fantastic leap here. It's all made by the delivery. Wonderful ball in from Gunchev. Right foot outswinger, basically aimed for that 6-yard box. Got up terrifically well, just couldn't quite keep it down.
So a goal kick for Cray Valley. Away to our left-hand side.
Just looking at the two fullbacks, I mean, Flegg's about 6'4",
yep.
And obviously down on this side, Welch Turner is about 5'4". So completely different attributes that they have. I just wonder, they might be better off pushing Flegg from goal kicks up, trying to win that first one. Maybe he's got the height, certainly.
Welsh Turner gives the ball away on halfway for Chertsey, and Denzel Gale steps inside Murphy, who slipped. Gale gets to the edge of the area, tries to left-footed drive, it's blocked out to the left-hand side of the area. Here's Kevin Lisby for Cray Valley, looking to work the angle for a shot. It's in low, but saved at his near post by Nick Jupp. 1-1.
Well, Gale went for goal, took a deflection, ended up actually with Lisby, left-hand side of the box. He's trying to jink his way in, almost similar to Tomlin's effort at goal, but he didn't quite connect properly. A couple of times now, he's scuffed his shot, hasn't he, Lisby? Hasn't had the cleanest of connections.
But he has still been winning most things in the air to try and set play up for Cray Valley so far this afternoon, and he's won another flick on to try and set Tomlin away, but Peacock for Chertsey Town calmly rolls the ball back to his goalkeeper Jupp, who clears first time downfield, and it breaks for Lewis Driver, chests it away neatly from Semakula. Now Genshev down the right hand side, runs into Danny Smith, headed away into the Cray Valley midfield, and Ryan Flack, early ball looking to get Dental Gale away, but he's shown too much of that to the Chertsey fullback Mason Welch Turner, who comes down this near side of Chertsey left, but then slows the game down by giving it back to Sam Murphy, who's just exchanging passes with Clevin McLaren. Murphy now looking to drive in from the left-hand touchline, playing a 1-2 with Lewis Driver, almost got in behind, but Cray Valley did enough, and Semakula now trying to roll the ball out of play. He's actually taken it out of play for a throw to Chertsey that he didn't need to do.
It's confident, isn't it, start here from Chertsey? They've started much better than Cray. Caught on the heels at the minute, Cray. Look a little bit lethargic.
5 gone in the second half of the FA Vase final, live on Talksport 2. It's 1-1 between Chertsey and Cray Valley, and Chertsey in the blue and white stripes have a throw away to our left, on their left-hand side. Welch Turner, the fullback, wearing his bright orange boots, gets the ball back to the captain McLaren. Good ball, rolled up to Jake Baxter, left-hand corner of the penalty area. But he's got Tumkaya, who's just received the first yellow card of the game, who's tracking his every move. And then as Cray Valley try to defend at the right-hand corner of their box, they do eventually get it back to Semakula. And the Cray number 8 floats the ball up to the halfway line, where it's intercepted temporarily by Kevin McLaren. But Ryan Flack's got players to hit on the far side of the field, including Danny Smith in all green for Cray Valley. Smith steps inside his man Genshev, tries to roll it into the feet of Kevin Lisby, but Peacock did well there at the back for Chertsey and got it back to his keeper. 1-1, 7 minutes gone, second half.
Well, at the minute, every time the ball goes into the front for Cray, in the first half everything was coming off, it was sticking, they were building, but at the minute it's just coming straight back. They need to find the right pass, get hold of it. Lisby and Tomlin. You've obviously got Babalola as well on the bench, haven't you? He scores bags of goals. He's got 20 plus, so he is another option. I'm sure we'll see him getting warmed up soon.
Yeah, he is one of the options for Kevin Watson, the Cray Valley manager. And Cray Valley are in possession with Gavin Tomlin, who got their opening goal. Out to the right-hand side, and Denzel Gale looking to outpace Welsh Turner. He's got beyond him to the byline. Good bustling run. His ball into the near post is cleared away by Quincy Rowe, and it looks like Denzel Gale has got the measure of Welsh Turner in those foot races.
Well, he's certainly physically much bigger and stronger than him, isn't he? Sort of double the size of Welch Turner. He knows if he can just face him up, knock it out of his feet, obviously then run after it. Got to the byline there, but he just needs a better ball in. Easily cut out the near post.
Chertsey Town have themselves a throw inside their own half, just shy of the halfway line, right in front of the Cray Valley dugout. And it's rolled back to Nick Jupp in the Chertsey goal. Jupp looks up and fires a right-footed ball, looking for Lewis Driver. Headed clearance by Tumkai, and he fell awkwardly and landed on the back of his head, and he needs some treatment on this near touchline. Cray Valley Visio straight on to look after the Turkish centre-half. 1-1. Well,
it's been enthralling so far. I've got to say, they've started ever so well here, Chertsey. much brighter, look a little bit leggy and lethargic, Cray, at the moment. You can just see Kevin Watson there just calling over his experienced striker Kevin Lisby, maybe going to have a word with him, trying to maybe get hold of the ball and show a bit more energy and spark. Just haven't got going here.
Only 4 goals before today conceded in their 10 FA Vase games, Chertsey Town. They had to get past a nervy penalty shootout after a 1-1 aggregate draw with Northwich Victoria in the semi-final. Nick Jupp made a penalty save, and then it was Sam Murphy, the number 10, who scored the vital winning spot kick. It's 1-1 here on Talksport 2. What's Moose got for us down by the touchline?
Well, at the moment, the defender looks like he's going to be right to carry on, but there are, Brad Potter's warming up, expected to at half-time. No Chertsey subs warming up, which is a bit of a surprise. And I like the beginning of the first half. I thought they started better. I agree with David completely. They started much better in the second half.
They have indeed. And we're back to the full 11 against 11. Kaya has re-entered, having had his little brief spell off the pitch following treatment. So it's with Andy Walker in the Cray Valley goal. We've got to try and get a foothold in this second half that is now nearly 10 minutes old on Talksport 2 in the FA Vase final. 1-1 between Cray Valley and Chertsey Town. And Cray are in possession. Down the left-hand side it goes, looking for Kevin Lisby. Looks like he was fouled by Peacock as he tried to chest the ball down into his own path. The referee agrees with that assessment, and it's a free kick to Cray Valley out on the left-hand side at 1 apiece.
Oh, that's much better from Cray. If I'm just comparing how they get up the pitch, both sides, that time Cray, rather than just kicking it long onto the Chertsey centre halves, they went out wide, really clever to Smith, out on the left, then retained possession, good ball into the channel, much better approach work.
He just barged into the back of Kevin Lisby, did Michael Peacock, and it will be a free kick that Ryan Flack is going to send in from the far side of the field, the Cray Valley left. Chertsey trying to hold their line just inside the 18-yard box. In it comes from Flack, lofted high to the far post, only headed half clear, and Cray Valley will win it back, and it's flicked back by Hickey to Denzel Gale. Gale puts an early ball into the box. It's headed goalwards by Lisby, and it lands on the roof of the net, and it'll end up just being a goal kick to Chertsey Town. It stays 1-1 on Talksport 2 in the FA Vase final.
Well, 2 disappointing deliveries, to be honest. Flack with the first free kick, over here, lofted, really high, very difficult to attack, headed clear, and then the ball in from Denzel Gale was equally poor.
Well, Dave Anderson, the Chertsey manager, must have heard the Moose saying that there were no Chertsey subs warming up, because they're out there now, going through their paces, as well as the Cray Valley subs. Of course, you can only have 3 at a time going to warm up.
Babadola, he's warming up.
He is.
Sure, he will come on soon. He needs a reaction here, I think, Kevin Watson, from his front 2.
Cray Valley coming forward though at 1-1. Gale down the right-hand side of the penalty area. Quincy Rowe goes with him. Gale trying to jockey for position and then clip a ball in, looking for Lisby. Cleared away by Chertsey, but the ball bounces over the unlucky Dale Binn's head, and it's back in the centre circle with Paul Semakula for Cray Valley. Edgar comes short to pick up the ball for the Millers. Now on halfway, it's Liam Hickey playing a long ball downfield intended for Gavin Tomlin. Only half cleared by Chertsey Town. Semakula there again in the centre circle to keep play going for Cray Valley at 1-1. Now turns on the halfway line, Semakula. Flicks it out to this near side, right in front of the dugouts. And Tumkaya, who actually got away with that. It wasn't the best pass from Semakula, but he did win a throw off Dale Binn. Stays 1-1. We've played 57 minutes, so 12 gone in the second half here on Talksport 2, non-league finals day. Hope you're enjoying our coverage, and in between the end of this game and Leyton Orient File, we've got bags of great guests coming to join Dan Windle at our commentary position before we get underway for the FA Trophy final at 4:15. Both commentaries through to a finish. Got the provision for extra time and penalties, of course, here, if it stays at this scoreline, which will put pay to all the wonderful guests we've got booked. But there you go. Them's your breaks when you're doing live football, which has the potential to go beyond 90 minutes. Now here's a chance for Jake Baxter. It's suddenly broken for him inside the area. He drives it wide. What a chance for Jake Baxter. Suddenly confusion at the back for Ashley Sains, in particular for Cray Valley. Lewis Driver knocked it through to Jake Baxter at the edge of the box. but he snatched at his shot and it goes wide. 1-1.
Oh, I'll be disappointed here. Baxter first time we really seen him on the ball, in and around the box. As you say, a poor header from Sains. He just got out-muscled, actually bounced down right on the edge of the box. Baxter cut inside. He's aiming again for that near post. I just wondered, though, maybe he could have taken it another touch closer, worked his way into the area, elected to take it early. Sort of a snapshot. He'll be disappointed he didn't even hit the target.
Experienced striker Jake Baxter, signed in September from Hartley Whitney. He was prolific at Tooting and Mitcham, was a Fulham Academy player way back when. Jake Baxter, now 29 years of age. Here come Cray Valley at the other end. It's 1-1. Anthony Edgar, right-hand corner of the penalty box. He's forced back by Quincy Rowe. Semakula gives it back to Edgar. Edgar up to the edge of the area. It's a 1-2 played in field. Here's Gavin Tomlin trying a drive. It's blocked to the near post by Peacock. Claims for handball against Peacock. Not given. It's rolled back to Denzel Gale. It goes behind, and as Michael Peacock was on the ground, there were questions as to whether he handled the ball. But we play on. Ball's gone out of play. It's a goal kick. It stays 1-1 on Talksport 2.
Well, I think it did come off his hand, to be honest. Peacock did go to ground. Lovely little fake here to deliver the ball, just to commit Peacock. He's gone sliding in. Lovely little give and go from Gale. It's minimal. It is minimal, but to be honest, it did roll off his arm. I don't really think he knew where the ball was. Just popped up off.
Well, that immediately rules out the deliberate nature of the handball.
Yeah, that was like a skill you see on the playground there, trying to roll it around his chest and his head. I don't actually think, maybe it didn't come off his arm.
Soccer skills. Out to the left-hand side it goes. Cray Valley in possession. It's 1-1 on Talksport 2. We've played an hour of the FA Vase final. Both goals coming in a 2-minute spell just after the half-hour mark. Gavin Tomlin opened the scoring for Cray Valley. Sam Flegg equalising for Chertsey Town. So that's why we're level at 1 apiece. Chertsey just backing off, allowing Cray Valley to have the ball midway point of their own half. Saints, it's a long ball intended for Kevin Lisby, tried to bring it down out of the sky, couldn't do so, and Peacock lobs it out of play for a throw on that far side of the field, on the south stand side, where all the fans for both these sides in the FA Vase final are congregated. And the ball is back with one of the three centre-halves, Liam Hickey, for Cray Valley. Tunkaya leaves it for Semakula. Neat ball through central midfield. Ryan Flack looked like he was caught, but nothing doing, says our referee Ross Joyce rather. And it's brought away by Jake Baxter, who's just had a really good chance for Chertsey Town to take the lead for the first time this afternoon. It's 1-1. Right hand side, Genchev, good ball into the area. Dale Binns is not tall enough to get to that header. Headed away by Ashley Sains at the back for Cray Valley. But here's Sam Murphy for Chertsey, rolling it down the left-hand side. Here's Binns in a more natural left-wing position. Across the face of goal, it's missed by everyone and drifts out to the right-hand side of the box, where Flegg will pick it up. Drives it low and hard across the 6-yard line. It's half cleared. Volley goalwards. Might drop for Binns here. It's blocked by Tunkaya, and needed to be.
Goodness me, Binns with a brilliant ball in, just ahead of Baxter in the middle of the box. Couldn't quite get on the end of it, but they got him under the ropes here, under pressure here, Cray Valley.
Cray Valley have won themselves a free kick as Genchev just hauled back Semakula as he tried to play the ball through the centre of midfield. And that'll give a little bit of a breather to Cray Valley. And this is much more like it from Chertsey, who faded in that first half. But they're causing Cray Valley lots of problems early in this second period. 62 gone on Talksport 2 in the FA Vase final. It's 1-1.
Well, Binns is their chief tormentor, isn't he, at the minute? Just need to get him on the ball a little bit more often. It's a lovely ball into the box, wasn't it, along the 6-yard line. And you think Baxter, if he gets another chance, he might just very well take it. He's very rarely seen the ball, hasn't had that much of it. He's had one sighter. And I'm sure Kevin Watson will be really disappointed. Look, he's up, he's out of his seat now. He spent large parts of it sitting down, but now he's on the edge of his technical area. He knows they got to improve.
I've barely seen Dave Anderson come out of his dugout, the Chertsey Town manager. It's all been about Kevin Watson, who is standing right at the edge of his technical area, getting help from his assistants as well. Hands in pockets, Kevin Watson. Looks up as his team come forward, looking for Kevin Lisby. Good header clear for Chertsey by Quincy Rowe, And
Too
in fact,
often.
offside against Kevin Lisby that
Too
time.
often. It's so frustrating, obviously, when you're out there and you're flagged offside. I mean, it just kills the attack, gives the ball back to the opponents. I think he needs to make a change here. They've been so flat in this second half, Cray Valley.
Free kick, though, to Chertsey Town, just ahead of their own penalty area, so the goalkeeper, Nick Jupp, will strike it right-footed. Play compressed over to this near side of the field. Jake backs to the target. He got half a flick on, but he illegally barged into the centre half, Liam Hickey, to win that header. And the referee gives it as a free kick to Cray Valley. Going to take it quickly. Andy Walker looking to send it down the inside left channel for Gavin Tomlin. Couldn't get the better of Peacock. Peacock's giving the rest of his defenders and defensive midfielders a bit of a volley. Murphy, good touch from Sam Murphy. Lewis Driver for Chertsey knocks it down to the skipper Kevin McLaren. McLaren rolls it down the right hand side, finds Sam Murphy, and Murphy will give it back to his captain. McLaren looks up and plays the ball infield onto the chest of Dale Binns, but he just couldn't control the chest down into his own path, and Cray Valley bring it away at 1-1.
Oh, he's unlucky there, wasn't it?
Well, here's Lisby charging down the left hand side, but Jupp, the sweeper keeper, swiftly out of his 18-yard box to clear.
Well, we spoke about that at half-time. That's where Jupp should be if they're going to have that high defensive line. We didn't see it in the first half, but we have seen it here. This is a much more organised Chertsey side. It seems like maybe Dave Anderson obviously has worked out how Cray play. He's come out much, much brighter with his team.
Intercepted by Peacock for Chertsey Town, who can now counter-attack, and the impressive Binns picks it up left-hand side. He's only got two players up with him, Genchev and Baxter. Binns gets to the left-hand corner of the penalty area, faced up by Semakulu, went for a challenge. It was a risky one, but Binns kept his feet, tried to roll it back to Welsh Turner, but that was intercepted by Denzel Gale and whacked downfield for Cray Valley so they can recover their shape.
Well, they're now doubling up on Binns. They know that he's their main threat. Obviously, Gale here, he's got to do a job for his team, get out wide when helps him. Tim Kaya, sorry.
20 minutes gone in the second half on Talksport 2 in the FA Vase final. 1-1 between Chertsey Town and Cray Valley. Chertsey coming forward. Baxter takes the touch at the near post after the ball was rolled in by Dale Binns, but he just couldn't control it with his first touch, allowing Andy Walker to pounce on it in the Cray Valley goal.
Oh, it's a lovely little run though from Baxter. Just read the space. Terrific ball in from Binns inside the right hand channel. Just slightly in front of him though. His first touch couldn't quite get it under control, but ominous signs here for Cray.
Those are the thoughts of David Connolly alongside me, Ian Danta in our commentary box at Wembley Stadium this afternoon. 1-1 and Cray Valley in possession. Both of these teams will be playing in a higher league next season. For Chertsey, it'll be the Southern League Division 1 Central. For Cray Valley, it'll be the old Isthmian League, now known as the Bostik South East. What a way it would be for Cray Valley to celebrate 100 years in existence as they are this year by making it a league and cup double. Lisby handling the ball, I think. There was no offside flag as the ball was floated downfield, just brought down by the arm of the former Charlton striker. Yep. Free kick to Chertsey Town at 1-1.
It's just not happening for them this half. I mean, they are still going back to front, but in the first half they were retaining those balls, they were staying onside that front two. Now they're either offside or they're not really controlling, they're miscontrolling it.
Chertsey are 129 years old. Just spotted a picture of Ralph Little in the crowd today, former actor from the royal family, who's here today with a Chertsey Town scarf on. Interesting choice, but more Chorley than Chertsey, given where he's from. Chertsey it is, though, it would appear, for Ralph Little, who's a pretty good have you ever played with Ralph Little in a charity game, David Connolly?
No.
He's more than useful.
Is he?
Oh yeah, I think he was on the books of maybe Bury in his youth. Chertsey in possession, halfway line. It's 1-1 midway through the second half. Baxter takes the ball on the spin. It's lovely control from Baxter, but Ashley Sains watched the ball back to the Cray Valley keeper Andy Walker. Again though, the movement from Baxter has just been so much better this second half. Lovely little pick out from Flegg and ball over the top. Couldn't quite take it with him, but the movement is superb. Well, that's the sort of movement that you appreciate as a former striker.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of them now, which we didn't really see too often in the first half, but they certainly come to life now, Chertsey. They really have.
Goal kick downfield from Andy Walker. It's won back by Chertsey, and Genchev suddenly powering through the midfield. Genchev into Baxter inside the area. Great challenge by Tumkaya. Absolutely had to make that challenge for Cray Valley. Otherwise, Baxter would surely have pulled the trigger and made it 2-1.
Yeah, Genchev, terrific little ball. Straight ball, diagonal run from Baxter, but Tumkaya, terrific interception. But here they come again, Chertsey.
I've just been informed that Ralph Little played for Chertsey Town. Matt Gubbins, one of our production staff, informing me of that. There you go, the things you learn. Every day's a school day, folks. Denzel Gale, right-hand side of the penalty area. For Cray Valley, tries to drive and it's blocked by Welsh Turner. Well, that looks like a corner to me, but the referee's given a goal kick. I thought it took a touch off the shin of Mason Welsh Turner. But Cray Valley have got to try and find some footholds in this second half, because more and more, David Connolly, Chertsey are starting to exert their power coming forward.
They are, and they've moved the ball ever so well in this second half. I mean, Baxter's looked really bright and lively. Terrific little runs. In contrast, I think, to the Cray Valley front two have been very quiet. Haven't really got going at all. They look a little bit leggy, I don't know, maybe signs of their age, I don't know. But I think they need to make a change here, Cray.
Break in play here because Quincy Rowe, the Chertsey centre-half, is down injured. It's 1-1 in the FA Vase final here on Talksport 2. Let's get down to the touchline here at Wembley Stadium. The Moose.
Warmed up a bit as well since it's not raining. Some rather animated conversations going on in front of me. It looks like Josh James will be coming on for Cray Valley very soon. He's being given a right old talking to by a man I've dubbed Mr. Angry, because the assistant manager for Cray Valley has just been in an angry mood since the game kicked off, it would seem. And the manager himself, Kevin Watson, just very quick word with Anthony Edgar and a couple of other of his players. Kevin Lisby is in there as well, having a chat with him. By the way, I've got a friend called Tom Rennie, and I don't know about you, but my mate Tom looks so much like the manager of Cray Valley.
It's close, although Tom doesn't possess quite the beard that Kevin Watson does. That's lost on most of the Talksport 2 listeners, though. Never mind. It's Wembley Stadium. It's 1-1 between Cray Valley and Chertsey Town. Leyton Orient AFC filed to come at 4:15 this afternoon, and that change is coming for Cray Valley. They are going to make that switch sooner rather than later. Josh James, who used to play for the Corinthian club, is going to come on to bolster the midfield for Cray Valley, David Connolly. Quincy Rowe's back on his feet, and we'll finally get play restarted here. And it's going to be Nick Jupp with a goal kick downfield. It just remains to be seen who Josh James is coming on for in the Cray Valley midfield. Jupp strikes the right-footed clearance downfield. Flicked on by Lewis Driver for Chertsey. Gale, it's a loose header, trying to get it back to his keeper, but he was helped out by Andy Walker, who sensed that Gale wasn't going to make the connection with the header that he wanted, and got there just ahead of Jake Baxter. He's
got him out of jail there, didn't he, Walker? A terrible header back from Gale. I just wonder, that little break, sometimes you need that maybe to get a few messages across. Certainly Cray have got to improve here.
Tomlin looking to latch onto a diagonal ball downfield. Anthony Edgar picks the ball up for Cray Valley. Tries to shot through a crowded bunch of players at the edge of the box. Brought away by Chertsey. Long ball downfield is well ahead of Jake Baxter, and tidied up at the back for Cray by Ashley Sains.
Well, the game has really stretched out, hasn't it? A lot of gaps appearing now. Just seems like Chertsey have got the better players in possession, certainly more comfortable. They can work their way out of trouble.
Semakula trying to pass it out to the near side, and Denzel Gale is going to go out of play. Does that signal the change for Cray Valley? We'll get down to the Moose now, I think, because yet the change is going to be made. Who's coming off, Moose?
Well, Josh James, the man coming on. The man coming off is Ryan Flack, as he's just trudging towards this near touchline to be replaced by Josh James. By the way, Cray Valley fans on the far side just getting a bit of an altercation verbally wise with the Chertsey fans. Listen, relax, boys. It's non-league finals day.
Yeah, it's getting a little spicy over on that far side. There's a long strip of that black mesh netting that separates the Chertsey and Cray Valley support by a good half a dozen or so seats, but there's a few fingers being pointed across that divide on the far side of the field from us in the south stand as we get things back underway on Talksport 2 with 17 minutes to go of normal time in this FA Vase final. Josh James then is on, the 27-year-old who works as a lift engineer. And of course, so many of these Cray Valley players in particular have full-time jobs to go with their footballing careers. And they are 1-1 with Chertsey Town, and the ball's back with the Cray Valley keeper Andy Walker. Good clearance downfield under pressure from Jake Baxter. Drops for Semakula, and now Denzel Gale tried to outrun Welsh Turner on the halfway line, and Welsh Turner, who, as David Connolly said, is about half Denzel Gale's size, sticks to his task well. It's a throw in, it's 1-1.
He did stick to it well there, little whip it, but just looking at that change, it's not really a like for like, because Josh James has just slotted in to the centre of midfield, playing two holding midfield players, and that means Anthony Edgar has now gone into Flack's position just behind the front two. He has looked good on the ball, Edgar, just can they get the ball to him a little bit more often?
Diagonal ball from Liam Hickey goes beyond Lisby to this near side, and Denzel Gale finds Lisby again, who's running away from goal. Right hand corner of the box, now turns and faces up Quincy Rowe. Rowe gets a challenge in to get it half clear. Gale rolls it in field for Josh James, plays it across the line to the aforementioned Edgar, who's trying to spin away from Lewis Driver and get things going for Cray Valley. Good dogged determination from Anthony Edgar, and he's got it back from Tumkaya.
But look, he can't really get it into the front. If you look at Kevin McLaren for Chertsey, he's just screening that ball into the front. He's done it ever so well. What it means is when you're in midfield, you've got to try and aim for the second striker, because that's the one that McLaren isn't shielding, but he's doing it really well. Look, as the ball moves across, McLaren just follows, always trying to prevent that ball into the front.
15 minutes to go on Talksport 2 on non-league finals day. This is the FA Vase final between Chertsey Town and Cray Valley, and Cray Valley are in possession down this near side, there right with Denzel Gale, once again looking to isolate Welsh Turner. He's got beyond him into the area, back to goal Gavin Tomlin, trying to twist away from McLaren, works it back to Edgar at the edge of the box. He tries a left-footed drive and it deflects wide for a corner kick to Cray Valley. 1-1.
He worked the angle really well there, Edgar. Little fake, let the ball run across his body, try to get it onto his left foot. Shot took a deflection. Look, there's a couple of tired legs out there, a few Chertsey players stretching off, maybe a touch of cramp.
Well, there are a couple of Chertsey players being asked to warm up down beneath us. Meantime, Anthony Edgar has got this corner kick from the right for Cray Valley. Lisby standing right next to the goalkeeper. In it comes from Edgar, right underneath the crossbar, half cleared by Welsh Turner, drops inside the box, claims for a penalty as Liam Hickey went down, held his arms aloft to the referee, who said no, play on. Back it goes to the halfway line, where Denzel Gale, one of the last men back for Cray Valley, wins it, slides it forward to Hickey. Hickey, lovely ball down the left-hand side of the box for Gavin Tomlin. Lisby's waiting in the area. He looked for Lisby, who actually slipped before the cross was made and couldn't recover his composure, but it's only half cleared by Chertsey. Suddenly Cray Valley have found a second win here in the FA Vase final. It's still 1-1 though, less than 14 to play. Now Josh James, and there's a player gone down. Is it McLaren? I think it's the skipper for Chertsey who's gone down injured.
Well, he has looked tired, McLaren. He's put an awful lot of work in, particularly at the start of this second half, trying to screen that ball into the front. I think either he's got like a touch of cramp or something's gone. He might have pulled something.
Well, he does say, I'm the fella with the beard in the middle of the park who can't run. That's his own assessment of his own abilities. So he's receiving treatment. There is a change being mooted down beneath us. It looks as though Dave Taylor's going to be on shortly for Chertsey for their first change of the afternoon. Should we get down to the touchline and see what Moose is up to? Moose, what you got?
Yeah, Taylor's been warming up for a while. He's now stripped and ready to come on. I want to mention Dave Anderson, the manager of Chertsey, because he's been a lot less animated on the sidelines with the players on the pitch, but certainly been no less directing tactics, and he's dressed in a completely different way. We were talking about Kevin Watson before, who's in a suit. Dave Anderson is in shorts, he's in a t-shirt and a tracksuit top. Looks like a proper old style football manager, a bit like sort of how Tony Pulis used to be on the sidelines, and Dave Kemp as well, before they donned the tracksuits and the suits. But the change will be made now. On comes Dave Taylor, and it is Kevin McLaren who's thankfully being able to come off, because they weren't getting the stretcher ready, but he's actually able to walk off the skipper.
Thank you, Moose. So yes, Dave Taylor is on in place of the skipper McLaren. I didn't see who picked up the armband. Oh, it's actually Peacock who's taken on captaincy duties for Chertsey Town now that McLaren is off. And Taylor, who scored a vital goal in that semi-final game against Northwich Victoria, is McLaren's replacement.
I think Moose makes an interesting point there. I looked at Pep Guardiola yesterday thinking, is he going to wear a suit and tie? He's at Wembley, but no, he's stuck with the same white T-shirt, a little grey jumper, and I guess that's the signal that this is just another game. Now, playing at Wembley isn't, but I guess for Dave Anderson, if he suddenly changes his attire, maybe it signals to his players that this game is more important than others, which it is, don't get me wrong, but I guess that consistency is quite important for your team.
I can think back to 73 and Bob Stokoe's trench coat in the Sunderland Leeds FA Cup final. Brian Clough, how many times did he come out here at Wembley in a suit? Next thing you know, he's got his old green jumper on before the game kicks off.
I mean, look, I've worn a blazer today, but Dan, you've just come as you normally do, just in a jumper and a pair of jeans.
I've got the right clothing for radio. 1-1 on Talksport 2. Comes to something when my fashion disasters are being picked up by other members of the Talksport 2 commentary team. They should know better. People in glass houses and all that. 1-1. Heading towards the last 10 minutes of normal time. Extra time and penalties beckon. It's quite a fetching jumper I've got on today, frankly.
It is.
Back with the goalkeeper.
It's very nice. You look almost Pep Guardiola-esque.
Thank you. I was waiting for that. Jupp will roll the ball outside of his 18-yard box. He's got options left and right. Genchev once again is pulled out to the right-hand side for Chertsey. He's gone downfield looking for Lewis Driver. Good header clear by Tunkaya at the back for Cray Valley. And here's Dale Binns for Chertsey Town. Receives it left-hand side, hugging the left-hand touchline. Neat ball in field, and Lewis Driver has been caught late by Paul Semakula, and he gets a yellow card for that challenge as Driver stays down hurt. Semakula becomes the second Cray Valley player to get a yellow card from Ross Joyce, the referee. 1-1.
And Driver's gone down now with cramp. Another player. There's a few tired bodies out there, and obviously if this goes to extra time, goodness me, there's going to be some tired legs out there.
Down to the Moose again shortly, because there's going to be a second change for Chertsey Town once this free kick has been done and dusted. Andy Crossley is waiting to be introduced by Dave Anderson. Meantime, Genchev will have this free kick for Chertsey Town. It's midway point of the Cray Valley half to the left of centre. He's got good delivery as well. They can time their runs off this. It's all about the ball in, then can you get the run right? High line from Cray Valley, ahead of their own 18-yard box, really compressing the space. Genchev dummies to take the free kick, then does take it. Look for Rowe at the far post, headed clear by Ashley Sains. Sam Murphy with his back to goal at the edge of the D. Genchev touches it into the area looking for Peacock, but it's cleared away hurriedly by Denzel Gale, and Welsh Turner, will the last men back for Chertsey Town, will retrieve it. Passes slowly up to the halfway line, and Binns infield to Murphy. Good layoff for Dave Taylor, the substitute. His first involvement is to find Lubo Genchev, but Genchev was caught off the ball by the number 3 Danny Smith, and he's going to be spoken to at the very least by the referee. That was a good passage of play, wasn't it? Chertsey moved the ball really quickly there. Cray look a little bit leggy, a couple of needless free kicks they're giving away. Have to be careful, obviously, that's where they conceded. No yellow card for Danny Smith, and no introduction yet of the second Chertsey sub, but we'll be back to the touchline in a moment. Another free kick for Chertsey, just ahead of the centre circle, inside the Cray Valley half. Sam Murphy to tease this one into the box. Flegg, the goal scorer from earlier, well, he gets his head to it, but he heads it way, way wide, and that will surely mean that the change will be made. Indeed, that's what's going to happen as Cray Valley prepare their goal kick. Let's get back down to the touchline on Talksport 2 and the Moose. Yeah, Lewis Driver is the man coming off. You mentioned he went down a couple of minutes ago. A, under a heavy challenge, B, with a touch of cramp. He's going to be replaced by Andy Crossley. Probably what these players don't need now, with extra time looming, dance and probably penalties, or possibly penalties, is the temperature down here is just beginning to rise a bit. When it was raining about an hour ago, it was really cool for the players, but it's now actually quite warm. It is starting to get pleasantly, a bit muggy almost, even though we're still only in mid-May. As Andy Crossley comes on, a wide attacker, rejoined for the start of the season. He was at Westfield for a short time. First made a Chertsey Town appearance back in 2010 as a 17-year-old. Over 250 appearances for Chertsey, and he's one to watch from set pieces, potentially, David Connolly.
Well, just going back to Moose's point about the weather, obviously that can contribute to fatigue, but also not just the occasion. Let's just see what happened here.
It's a bit of a flashpoint on the far side as Semakula and Peacock clashed, and Peacock went to ground holding his left knee.
Well, Semakula just stood over him. I don't think there was much in the challenge. I think it was just the actual reaction from Semakula.
Well, referee Ross Joyce is calling Semakula over, wants a word with him. Peacock is now sitting up just inside his own half of the field, and the referee, I think, will just speak to the pair of them and we will move on. Remember, Semakula is on a yellow card from earlier in this half. And in fact, the referee is having a word with Kevin Lisby as well, even though he's not the captain. He's being spoken to by the referee, and we will get things back underway and no further cards administered. Fair play, David Connolly, for that, would you say?
I think so. It was actually Lisby that had the challenge there. But yeah, just going back to Moose's point about obviously the weather, that can contribute. Obviously the pitch is very, very big, but also the occasion. You know, not only can you be physically fatigued, but also the mental fatigue in terms of that just seeps through the occasion, the nerves, the build-up, everything. And I think there's a few very tired bodies out there, a few tired legs, a lot of players who cramp.
Well, Kevin McLaren's just gone for a little warm down. The Chertsey captain just strolling down the touchline, taking the acclaim of some of the Chertsey fans on this near side. It's 1-1, heading for extra time in the FA Vase final, here on non-league finals day on Talksport 2, and a throw to Chertsey Town on the far side of the field in front of their 3,000 or so supporters. Thrown in by Flair, gets it back from Murphy, level with the edge of the Cray Valley penalty area. It's rolled back for Dave Taylor to deliver a cross into the box, high looping centre. It's only headed half clear. Crossley, the substitute, who's just come on, tries to get a piece of it, but Anthony Edgar wins the ball back for Cray Valley. Now, good ball sent downfield by Denzel Gale, and then given away needlessly by Gavin Tomlin. Crossley has it back for Chertsey Town. Finds Quincy Rowe, the centre half, on the halfway line. Feeds the ball further down left for Mason Welsh-Turner. Baxter, the central striker, has come in field. Oh, lovely ball into the centre of the half for Sam Murphy. Tried to find Gentchev, but that was well read by Liam Hickey. And he now tries to send Kevin Lisby away down the left-hand side. He's kept it in play on the far side of the field. He's skipped away from Peacock up to the edge of the area. Kevin Lisby trying to roll back the years, and the shot is blocked at the edge of the box by Flegg.
Well, they've been disappointing, I've got to say, the front two, certainly for Cray this second half. They've offered nothing. And going back to Chertsey, that was a really good move. They look so bright now going forward. They've been certainly the better side in the second half.
Semakula for Cray. Finds Gavin Tomlin, feeds it out first time to Denzel Gale. Danger man down the Cray right, gets to the byline, pulls the cross across the face of goal, and it's cleared at the near post, out for a throw by Quincy Rowe. 1-1.
Well, how many times have we seen that though? He's done really well, he gets to the byline, but that first cross just doesn't miss the first man. He's maybe got to do something different, stand it up or cut it back. Just rolling it along towards the near, it's far too easy to defend.
Lovely bustling style, hunched shoulders as he drives past his fullback Welsh-Turner as Denzel Gale, but as David Connolly says, the quality of the final ball just not quite there. He does have a throw for Cray Valley on this near side, the Cray Valley right. Tomlin holding the ball up level with the edge of the penalty area, right hand side, feeds it back in field to Denzel Gale, and now Tomlin trying to outrun Quincy Rowe right hand side of the box, but Crow dealt with the danger well, and Binns fires the ball downfield for Chertsey. Can't find Baxter though.
Terrific defending there from Quincy Rowe. He's been really good so far today. Just saw out the trouble of Tomlin, kept him out wide, used his muscle and power. He's been brilliant at the back for Chertsey.
Now Sains works the ball out to the left hand side, and Danny Smith for Cray Valley. Edgar making a run down the left hand side of the penalty area. Peacock goes out with him, and so too does Crossley. Now it's worked back to Edgar, who's had to get back towards the centre of the half to retain possession for the Millers. Good cross in for the left-hand side, looking for Lisby, and Peacock had to make the header at the near post, and Lisby lets it bounce behind for a Cray Valley corner. Lovely centre from Liam Hickey from that far side. Almost found the 40-year-old Kevin Lisby.
Oh, brilliant ball in, but what a header from Peacock. I mean, he maybe hasn't been too good on the deck and he's looked a little bit vulnerable, but that was in the first half. Second half, he's been terrific. Great headed clearance.
2 minutes to go of normal time in the FA Vase final. It's a Cray Valley corner. Swung in right-footed by Edgar. Heads go up and it's headed goalwards by Sains and pushed just round the post by Nick Jupp for a successive corner to Cray Valley. Good header, smart save.
Terrific header. Ball deep, corner to the back post. Edgar with a delivery. Sains got up ever so well. It was goal bound. Good push away though from Jupp.
So Edgar's had to come all the way across to this near side, the right, for an out-swinging right-footed corner for Cray Valley. Into the near post, headed clear to the edge of the area. Rolled into the feet of Dale Binns. Binns trying to roll Semikula and plays the ball downfield, trying to get Jake Baxter in behind, but Danny Smith on the cover. Plays it back first time of asking to his keeper, but Chertsey picked the ball up on halfway. Dave Taylor finds Sam Flegg, whose equaliser in the first half at the moment is sending us to extra time in the FA Vase final. A minute to go on Talksport 2. Murphy rolls the ball back to Sam Flegg. Flegg looks up, Baxter making a run to the right-hand corner of the area. Genshev now playing centrally for Chertsey Town. Steps away from Semikula, two to his left. One of them is Dale Binns. What can Binns do here? He's got an overlap from Welsh Turner down the left. Lovely ball in from Welsh Turner. Murphy can't apply the finish with a header. Comes off the side of his head and goes out to the right-hand corner of the box, where it's Crossley. Crossley, another good ball in. Headed out this time by Tunkaya. Dale Binns retrieves it for Chertsey Town. Finds Welsh Turner again, but he's faced up by Semikula this time, and by Kevin Lisby. So Welsh Turner looks for Genshev. Genshev has got Crossley right-hand side. Chance to measure a first-time ball in. Oh, it's almost dropped by the keeper and headed over his own bar by Sains. The cross fizzed in from the right from Crossley. Up went the goalkeeper, Andy Walker, could only palm it up in the air, and his centre-half Sains bailed him out. Corner to Chertsey, 1-1.
He did bail him out there. Walker with a woeful take, tried to claim it with both hands, just palmed it up into the air. He was actually falling into the back of the net. Sains cleared it off the line. But I tell you what, Chertsey have been terrific. I mean, their tempo in the last few minutes has been too much for Cray.
Surely a goal now wins it. We're into 5 minutes of added time in the FA Vase final, with extra time looming. But it's a corner to Chertsey to be delivered from this near side by Lubo Genshev. Genshev's corner, up goes Walker and elects to punch with both fists. Gets good distance on the clearance as well, the Cray Valley keeper. But Chertsey have it back, and Genshev now in behind left-hand side. Gets away from Lisby, into the box, tight to the byline, pulls it back, and it's fired wide by Peacock. The ball rolled back to him. The goal gaping. The chance was there for the substitute skipper, but Michael Peacock shanked his effort well wide, and it's a goal kick to Cray Valley at 1-1.
Oh, what an opportunity. Gunchev done brilliantly down this left-hand side, just skipped past Tomlin, had the presence of mind then to pick out Peacock, but arguably he's the one player you probably don't want to pick out on the deck. Maybe if that was Baxter, maybe he might have taken a touch and got a shot off. Instead he went first time, miscued it horribly wide. Centre of goal, what an opportunity. I tell you what, if they'd have scored there, you couldn't say they wouldn't have deserved it.
Goal kick for Cray Valley. Really enjoying this FA Vase final. I hope you're enjoying our coverage as much as we're enjoying bringing it to you on Talksport 2 this afternoon, and there's plenty to come. We may well have extra time and penalties here to decide this final, and then the FA Trophy final at 4:15. AFC filed against Leyton Orient, but there's still time in the 5 minutes that have been added on at the end of normal time here for either of these teams to find a winner for their debut FA Vase win. Guaranteed new name on the trophy, and Cray Valley have just won a corner over to our right-hand side, and they're debating how many to send up for this corner kick. 1-1.
Well, Tomlin there got to the byline. You could see he was trying to work the corner. He's done that. Edgar's got really good delivery from this side. It's a right-footed in-swinger from the other side. He likes to drill it, but from here they've looked dangerous.
Edgar's corner for Cray Valley. It's looped high to the far post, looking for Sains, headed away to the edge of the box, and there was a push by a green Cray Valley shirt inside the box, and so Chertsey can clear their lines with a free kick. 2.5 minutes of stoppage have gone, 2.5 left. It's one apiece.
Yeah, it's unlucky. It wasn't the best delivery, I've got to say, from that left-hand side. So he's a right-footed Edgar. He's looking to in-swing it, but he put too much height and loft on it. From the other side, though, when he drills it, they look really dangerous.
So a goal kick or a free kick rather, almost as good as a goal kick, right by the 6-yard line for Nick Jupp for Chertsey. Headed infield by Jake Baxter, but Josh James, the substitute for Cray Valley, put his foot in, up in the air from Semakula. Ball lands on the halfway line. It's contested by Dave Taylor for Chertsey and Denzel Gale for Cray Valley, and a hurried clearance from the Chertsey left back Welsh Turner means it's a throw for Cray Valley, but we are heading, David Connolly, inexorably for another half an hour.
Yeah, it's been a really entertaining game, I've got to say. A game of two halves, because Cray certainly had the better of the first, but, you know, Chertsey have certainly had the better of the second.
Maybe one last chance for either side. It's one in midfield by Dave Taylor for Chertsey Town. Binns now popping up on the right-hand side for the Curfews. Good strong run late on in the game from Dale Binns. Plays the ball to Crossley. Crossley into the area, gives it back to Binns. This is the chance for Chertsey Town. Crossley with his back to goal, looking to try a shot, and it's straight at the keeper Andy Walker, who clutches onto it with great relief and holds it in his 6-yard box. That was the chance for Chertsey to win it in normal time.
Another quality counter-attack there. Binns has been superb all game. This time on the right, ducked inside onto his left. They nearly worked the opening. As I said, they've been much the better side this second half. Can they get another opportunity? They're on the ropes here, Cray, they really are.
Into the last minute of minimum stoppage time. Once we've had the 5, then it's up to Ross Joyce from the North Riding FA, who's in charge today, as to how much more we add on before we have extra time to decide the FA Vase winners of 2019 here on Talksport 2 at Wembley Stadium. Chance now for Anthony Edgar, driving forward for Cray Valley. He's going to have a go from distance. It's blocked by Peacock. Comes out to Josh James. Edgar again into the area. Lisby was almost in behind. Edgar hits the bar with a shot from the penalty spot. Comes out to Josh James. He loses out. Murphy clears it, and the full-time whistle goes a mere couple of seconds after Cray Valley hit the bar through Anthony Edgar. The ball suddenly presented to him on the penalty spot, and it smacked against the bar and came away.
Well, would you believe it? What an opportunity, really. They're barely threatened, but the excellent Edgar tried a little give and go with his front man, Lisby, came back to him, then he volleyed it straight off the crossbar. The last kick of the game. So unlucky.
So what it means is another 30 minutes to come to decide the FA Vase winners for 2018-19 here at Wembley Stadium, because the full-time score is Chertsey Town 1, Cray Valley 1. I'm not paid to answer that question. I'm just paid to call the action, and I wouldn't want to call a winner at this point, because both teams have had their moments. As we get underway for the first period of extra time, Cray Valley in their all-green strip are kicking from right to left as we look from our commentary position halfway up the north stand. We're behind the dugouts and behind the tunnel where we're positioned here at Wembley Stadium this afternoon. Chertsey Town then kicking from left to right as we look, wearing their blue and white striped shirts, white shorts and blue socks for this first period of extra time, with penalties looming large on the horizon. Back with Andy Walker, the Cray Valley keeper. I'll run through the lineups for you again in just a moment. If you're tuning into us for the first time this afternoon on non-league finals day here on Talksport 2, here's Gavin Tomlin, who got the first goal of the afternoon around about 10 minutes to the end of the first half. It's cleared away, but only for a throw for Cray Valley. Almost level with the edge of the penalty area, left-hand side, and it's thrown in early for Gavin Tomlin. Tomlin looking to roll his defender and get inside, but Lubo Genshev wins it back for Chertsey Town, but the clearance downfield is picked off by Liam Hickey. Hickey plays the ball in field for Danny Smith. Now Smith gets it back. Up it goes to Gavin Tomlin, looking to roll his man, Sam Flegg, and Flegg guides it back, the right back, to the Chertsey keeper, Nick Jupp, whose clearance finds Jake Baxter. Baxter chests it down brilliantly and releases Dale Binns. Binns now trying to charge into the Cray Valley half. Denzel Gale gets back at him once, twice, has two nibbles at him. The second one won the ball, and then Semakula slides in on Mason Welsh Turner. Uncompromising challenge from Denzel Gale there to stop Dale Binns in his tracks, David Connolly.
Yeah, well, I mean, he knows he's got to get back and help his centre-halves, done that really well. I mean, Dale Binns has been their best player, hasn't he, Chertsey? He's a real live wire. He looks like he might have a touch of cramp, though. It's probably a good sign, certainly for Cray Valley.
Yeah, just stamping his left foot into the turf to try and ward off the effects of cramp. I'll quickly run through the lineups for you. We've had, 2 minutes gone in the first period of extra time on Talksport 2. Nick Jupp is the Chertsey keeper. Sam Flegg, Michael Peacock, Quincy Rowe, Mason Welsh-Turner across the back. It's now a midfield 5 of Andy Crossley, Lubo Genchev, Dave Taylor, Sam Murphy and Dale Binns. Jake Baxter is the striker. For Cray Valley, Andy Walker's their keeper. Chemtum Kaya, Ashley Saint and Liam Hickey 3 at the back. Denzel Gale, Paul Semakula and Danny Smith in midfield, along with Anthony Edgar and Josh James. And Gavin Tomlin and Kevin Lisby are up top for the Millers, who've just conceded a throw to Chertsey Town. Right in the defensive third for Chertsey, on the curfew's right-hand side, thrown in by Sam Flegg, but helped back towards the Chertsey penalty area by Danny Smith, but that's watched behind by Michael Peacock, who's now captaining Chertsey after Kevin McLaren went off with that pull calf. You heard him talking to Moose about that just before we got things restarted here at Wembley Stadium. Plenty of Orient and Fylde fans now taking their seats in the north stand and the northeast corner around us, getting ready for the FA Trophy final, which comes up at 4:15 here live on Talksport 2. And that's why that gap was put in between the two games, David Conley, because of the provision for extra time and penalties that we're potentially into now.
Absolutely, and just looking at how they're setting up now, Dave Taylor looks to be latching on to Edgar for Cray at the base of that midfield, and then obviously you got Sam Murphy and Andy Crossley just ahead of him, almost man for man against the Cray midfield, 3v3 in there.
Important touch from Sam Flegg whilst on the deck to stop Tomlin trying to thread a ball through for Kevin Lisby for Cray Valley. Good interception on halfway by Liam Hickey. Danny Smith volleys it forward for Cray Valley. Peacock backpedaling, managed to volley it clear. Comes back with the green shirts of Cray Valley, but helped towards halfway by Crossley. And now for Chertsey, it's Lubo Genchev, but his diagonal ball can't find Dale Binns. It's a comfortable header back to his keeper Andy Walker by Chemtum Kaya. 1-1.
I'm just wondering though whether maybe Kevin Watson is already thinking about penalties, because Tomlin and Lisby, I got to be honest, apart from the first half, have been really quiet. But if he takes them off, is that one of your penalty takers out the game? So is he going to maybe just keep them on and get something out of them? I think that might be the idea.
Maybe add Babalona into the mix, I don't know, to play as a 3 up top, but that of course causes them a problem defensively if they do that.
I mean, look, they've got to start offering a little bit more though, retaining the ball, running in behind, because they might not even get to penalties. However, obviously if he takes one off, that's one of his main takers out the game.
Here is Anthony Edgar, who struck the bar with the last kick of normal time for Cray Valley, just inches away from winning the FA Vase for the Millers, but 1-1 it remains. Here's Gavin Tomlin, lays the ball off for Paul Semakula. Good ball from Semakula. Lisby's in behind, but offside. Flag goes up on the far side of the field, and it's a free kick to Chertsey Town. 1-1.
Well, I think he's been offside more often than he has had shots at goal today, Lisby. Too eager to run in behind. He knows better than that. Just time your run, hold off. You don't need to go. He's still got the pace to get in there.
At what age did you stop playing, David?
38.
Okay, because Lisby's 40. And of course he's coaching at Cray Valley as well, at Cray Valley rather. So he's...
Cray Valley sounds good though.
Yeah, it does, it sounds far better. He's leading by example though, isn't he, Kevin Lisby, in terms of the work he puts in for the teammates around him. Probably worse when you coach, you probably feel as though you have to try twice as hard. Here is Genchev at the other end for Chertsey. Gets to the edge of the area, tries to wrap his foot round a left-footed drive, but wasn't really that much purpose behind the strike, and it's going to go behind for a Cray Valley goal kick away to our right-hand side. 1-1 on Talksport 2 in the first period of extra time. 6 minutes gone, and there's going to be a change coming up for Chertsey Town. In fact, that change is going to be made now, so why don't we get down to the touchline and find out who's off and who's on with Talksport's Ian Abrahams.
Lewis Jackson is the man coming on, and you mentioned him a couple of times recently. Dale Binns just looked like he was running out a bit of energy. He's the man that's coming on. By the way, Fylde and Leyton Orient players just beginning to arrive here at the stadium.
Thank you, Moose. Played well, Dale Binns, hasn't he, coming off there for Chertsey Town?
He was brilliant, I got to say. Obviously a bit leggy, he's put an awful lot of energy in, run up and down, he's been their biggest threat all game. Terrific performance, should be really proud of himself.
Lewis Jackson started the season at centre-back was moved to full-back by Dave Anderson. Widely thought to be the most improved player. He's got some defending to do as here come Cray Valley. Ball played into the area, clipped in by Edgar from the left-hand touchline. Kept in play on the far side of the field by Kevin Lisby, and he's won a corner off Welsh Turner. Away to our left-hand side for Cray Valley with the score at 1 apiece on Talksport 2. It's the FA Vase final to be played to a finish, of course. The potential for penalty kicks looms ever larger with every passing second. It's 1 apiece. Edgar will have the corner for Cray Valley. Drilled into the 6-yard box, heads go up, and it's Jackson just on as a substitute who gets the vital header out of the box for Chertsey, but it's come back to Edgar, right-hand side for Cray Valley. Good ball in, headed up in the air by Tumkaya. Slightly hurried clearance by Welsh Turner, drops at the edge of the box, and Hickey tried his luck from fully 30 yards out. Has he won a corner?
Yeah.
He has won a corner away to our far right-hand side, left-hand side. It's 1-1.
Yeah, they got around the ball there, just closed it down, Chertsey, but it did just spin out. Another set piece, and he's got really good delivery. Excellent flighted ball here. It's almost drilled.
Here it is again from Edgar. Drilled to the far post. Lisby goes up, and he fouled the keeper, did he? Indeed he did, and he's going to get a yellow card for his trouble there, Kevin Lisby, for showing too much aggression towards the keeper, Andy Walker.
I just wondered, did he go with his
Nick
hand?
Jupp, rather.
He might have gone with his hand there.
Well, he's been booked, Lisby. He's complaining to Ross Joyce, the referee, but he becomes the third Cray Valley player, along with Semakula and Tumkaya, to go into the referee's notebook.
Yeah. He's raised his arm, and he's gone for the ball, but he's actually raised his arm to pad it in with his hand. Deserved yellow.
8.5 minutes gone in the first period of extra time. Live on Talksport 2 at Wembley Stadium. The FA Vase final locked at 1 apiece between Chertsey Town and Cray Valley, both of whom will be playing in step 4 of the non-league pyramid next season. Both teams having won promotion this campaign, and therefore both gunning for a league and cup double. Somebody's going to get it. Who will it be? Chertsey having some defending to do as Cray Valley come down the left-hand side. Gavin Tomlin tries to roll Sam Flegg, and Flegg hits the ball against Tomlin, goes over the dead ball line, and that's a goal kick to Cray Valley. And Cray Valley are going to make another change here, their second of the game. Let's get details on it from Talksport 2's Ian Abrahams.
Francis Babalola's coming on, and Kevin Lisby, 40 years of age. My word, I wish I could have played at Wembley when I was 40 years old. Former Charlton man, he's coming off business. So not really been at his best. I think you said he didn't really roll back the years, but still, Kevin Lisby's had a good old run out to almost make it to half-time in extra time. He's come off.
Thank you, Muso. It is indeed a chance for Babalola, wearing number 27, to make the difference. Francis Babalola, who has played for the likes of Tilbury and Harrow, 16 goals in the Southern Counties East Football League for Cray Valley, so he's a decent option, the 26-year-old, with Lisby having gone off. Down the left-hand side, Genshev trying to attack for Chertsey Town, but that's well watched by Denzel Gale. Goal kick, 5 minutes to half-time in the first period of extra time. It's 1-1.
Well, as we just saying a minute ago, I wondered if he was going to make a change, because that front two weren't really far in. They've looked leggy and tired. They need a little spark. However, you know, what does he do? Stick? Because obviously if it does go to penalties, you've got Lisby, you've got Tomlin. If he twists, then one of them's got to come off. Anyway, he's twisted. It's bold, it's brave, and Babalola is a goal scorer as well. But I just wonder, maybe he could have kept Lisby on for a penalty. But I guess he's thinking we need to get to pens first.
He's a personal trainer as well, is Francis Babalola, and he looks every inch the physical specimen as he looks to latch onto a flighted ball downfield that goes over his head and Michael Peacock's, and through to Nick Jupp in the Chertsey Town goal. So into the last 5 minutes of the first period of extra time. Sun trying to break through here at Wembley Stadium. Crunching challenge between Josh James and Dave Taylor on the halfway line, but it comes Cray Valley's way, and it's Anthony Edgar making a good weaving run out to this near left-hand side, level with the edge of the penalty area. Murphy goes with him, intelligently played back from Edgar to Danny Smith. Now Gavin Tomlin, left-hand corner of the penalty area, rolls it back 10 yards or so to Semakula. Semakula into the feet of Edgar at the edge of the D, hit the bar at the end of normal time, rolls it down to Tomlin at the byline. Weak and slightly tired cross from the left-hand side, and an equally tired clearance from Michael Peacock. 1-1.
It certainly was a tired cross from Tomlin. Could barely muster the energy to get the ball into the box.
Lots of heavy legs out there. One of the pairs of fresher legs out there, Josh James, substitute, finds another substitute for Cray Bally. Babalola. He's going to receive the ball on this near touch line. Knocks it back 20 yards or so to Liam Hickey. Hickey in field for James. And James for Cray Valley looks for Denzel Gale, who's been competing with Welsh Turner all afternoon, gets the better of him again. Into the near post. It almost found its way through to Gavin Tomlin, but Peacock there again, the skipper for Chertsey Town, to clear his lines.
A terrific interception. Gale finally got to the ball, and this time he didn't just roll it across the 6 yard, he tried to cut it back, but Peacock in the right place again. Apart from that first half, he's had a brilliant game thereafter, Peacock.
Meantime, it's Andy Crossley for Chertsey Town, right in front of the Cray Valley bench.
What they've done here, Chertsey, they've just moved Gunchev, who was on the right. He's now over on the left-hand side. He's a right footer, so he'll be looking to cut in. And Crossley now is operating as this right winger. Jackson's gone in, almost playing as an attacking midfielder in that midfield three since Binzer's gone off.
Hickey for Cray Valley launches a long ball downfield, trying to ask Babalola to win the header, but the Chertsey right back, Sam Flegg, does win it, although he's given the ball away to Babalola. Charging down the left-hand touchline, skips past the challenger Peacock. Only Gavin Tomlin in the area for him, tries to find him, but he's won a corner in the end, Babalola, off Sam Flegg. Cray Valley will have that corner away to our left-hand side, and there's just over a minute to play in the first period of extra time at 1-1.
Yeah, brilliant there from Babalola, got to the byline. Super little dink over Peacock though, went to ground. He does look leggy. I mean, I just wonder, can they isolate him again? It's just creating that space in the channel. Babalola is full of energy and running, a bit like Lisby and Tomlin were in the first half. I think that's what they needed, Cray Valley.
Edgar with the corner kick for Cray Valley, away to our left-hand side at 1-1 in the FA Vase final. Lofted to the far post, headed down and out by Liam Hickey, and he was pushing his man as well, so Chertsey end up getting themselves a free kick inside their own penalty area. 1-1.
If I was critical of this delivery in from Edgar, it's a bit too lofted, too high, no pace on the ball. It's hard to get any sort of header and power on it. His delivery from the opposite side, from the right, is much better when it's drilled in.
So, Nick Jupp with the free kick for Chertsey Town. Smacked down the centre of the field. It'll drop for Andy Crossley. There's men over in the left-hand side of the box. Genchef is one. It comes down the left-hand side of the box, and there's a clattering challenge. And a penalty kick has been given as we go into stoppage time. A challenge on the left-hand side of the area. And the referee, Ross Joyce, has given a penalty to Chertsey Town right before half-time in extra time.
Well, Tom Kaya, he's gone to ground here. There was absolutely no need. I mean, Crossley with the ball over the top. Lovely little pick out. It's right on the edge. Does he make contact? It doesn't look like he makes contact, to be honest.
It's Genchef who's coming in, yeah.
Just touches it round him, and then he goes to... I'm not sure there's contact, but basically he skips around him right on the edge. He probably is inside. I mean, his foot... Oh, I tell you what, it's so close. It's very close.
Well, it's a penalty given by our referee today, Ross Joyce, and that means Jake Baxter, the Chertsey Town goal machine, with a chance to put them in front for the first time this afternoon. Baxter scores! Low into the bottom corner. Andy Walker gets right, and Chertsey are ahead right on half-time in extra time. Inevitably, Jake Baxter gets his goal, and Chertsey are on the verge of FA Vase triumph.
Well, that's a perfect little pen. Right-footed, whipped across the goalkeeper to the right-hand side. Look at that, he's absolutely buzzing, his Baxter. Brilliant. And they have deserved it, I've got to say. I mean, after the first half, they've certainly been the better side in this tie. They really have. Wheels away in delight in front of, look, there must be 4,000 or 5,000. I mean, they've really packed that area, Chertsey. The fans have come here in their droves. And they've definitely deserved that goal.
Well, the Cray Valley players now lining up to get things back underway, but there won't be much more for the referee to add on at the end of this first period. And Kevin Watson, the Cray Valley manager, is going to have to find some quick words of inspiration as the referee does blow the whistle for the turnaround. So Jake Baxter's penalty, pretty much the last action of the first period of extra time. Chertsey are in front. Can they hang on for 15 minutes? It's 2-1 to Chertsey Town in the FA Vase final. Well, it's Brad Potter that's come on, in actual fact, for Jem Tumkaya, whose last involvement was to concede that penalty. His knee connected with Genchev's right foot, right on the line, right on the whitewash at the edge of the penalty area. But Brad Potter, who's a defender, a couple of important goals at the end of the season that he scored. The man previously from Dartford and Chatham and Tunbridge Wells is on for the third and final change for Cray Valley, who are now attacking the goal away to our right, the west stand here at Wembley Stadium. It's 2-1 to Chertsey, and Cray Valley have 15 minutes to try and get themselves back into this game. Otherwise, the new name on the FA Vase trophy will be Chertsey Town FC. Goal kick to Chertsey away to our right hand side, which Nick Jupp will take. And the Chertsey fans on the far side of the field from us are waving their flags pretty much for the first time with any serious intent. They got themselves level, of course, having gone behind, but now they're ahead for the first time this afternoon and forcing Cray Valley back into their own penalty area and taken out of play by the goalkeeper Andy Walker as he was jockeyed by Jake Baxter, and that's a corner kick needlessly surrendered by Chay Valley.
I'm just trying to be a little bit too clever here, Andy Walker. Maybe just get rid of it first, clear your lines. Took a touch, was pressed, tried to go around the player. I think safety first here, take no chances.
Well, Cray Valley have got three defenders in the 6-yard box and only Jake Baxter there, but it's been rolled short to Andy Crossley for Chertsey. Looping ball to the far post, but Andy Walker can just watch that go out of play on the full, so Cray Valley will have themselves a goal kick away to our left-hand side. 2-1 Chertsey.
They just switched off completely there, Cray Valley at the corner. He took it short, really bright and inventive from Chertsey, just the delivery was off.
Going to see a few Hail Marys launched into the Chertsey half for this final 15 minutes, you sense, from Cray Valley. And it's one of those three centre-halves, Hickey, that lobs it downfield. Denzel Gale wants to play a 1-2. Does he get it back from Potter? Can he keep it in play on that far side? He's won a corner. That's brilliant industry from Denzel Gale down the right to hit the ball against Quincy Rowe and win a corner kick away to our right for Cray Valley. 2-1 to Chertsey.
Yeah, he did great there, Gale, but I've got to say Quincy Rowe was equally good, getting across, covering. Terrific display he's had at the heart of the defence for Chertsey.
Edgar will have the corner kick for Cray Valley. Oh, it's a tired delivery and it's comfortably cleared at his near post by Sam Murphy. Held up by Genchev. Gives it back to Welsh Turner. The left back tries to drive it forwards. Josh James will keep it in play for Cray Valley, but gives it straight back to Genchev. Turns the ball in field to Murphy. Lob forward to the halfway line where it's tidied up by Ashley Sains. Now it's Danny Smith with a long diagonal ball trying to pick out Francis Babalola, who came on in the first period of extra time to replace Kevin Lisby. So what have Cray Valley got left in their centenary year? Or is it going to be Chertsey Town, 129 years young, who are going to lift the FA Vase this afternoon? We've played 3.5 minutes of the second period of extra time. Cray Valley in all green in possession on the halfway line with Josh James. Out to Danny Smith, left-hand side. Babalola, ever willing, trying to get further down that left-hand side, but in slides Sam Flegg to put it out to play for a Cray Valley throw. They're getting on with it here. Josh James rolls the ball up to the edge of the area. Tomlin trying to get him behind Peacock. He does, but the ball trickled away from him, and Jupp can let the ball go behind for a goal kick to Chertsey, who lead 2-1 on Talksport 2. So Nick Jupp prepares to take the goal kick. Leyton Orient and AFC File players are here, getting prepared for the FA Trophy final. I should have asked how they divvy up the dressing rooms when there's 4 teams here. I'm sure they dress 2 rooms up as dressing rooms for the late arriving teams. Ball floated downfield, asking Sam Murphy to give chase for Chertsey, but Hickey clears for Cray Valley and just hobbles away. The old lactic acid building up inside those. You know what that's all about, David Connolly.
Well, we've seen a few players here. I mean, we saw Edgar with the corner. As soon as he took it, he pulled up with cramp. So many tired bodies out there. Can they see this through, though, Chertsey?
They're about 10 minutes away from glory, Chertsey Town, and they have possession on their right-hand side with Lewis Jackson. Ball teased in by Fleck into the Cray Valley box, but it's cleared by Josh James. Comes back to Flegg once more. Out to the right-hand side. Run being made by Crossley into the box, but the ball's too deep for him to retrieve, and instead it's sent downfield, and Denzel Gale will try and bring the ball away for Cray Valley. Important touch from Mason Welsh-Turner, and then he was caught by Gale as he released it, and that'll be a free kick for Chertsey, and Welsh-Turner has stayed down. And of course you are allowed an extra substitute once you get into extra time in these major finals.
Well, this is where they'll just be taking their time, Chertsey, wasting as much as they can. Look, we saw Sunderland do this against Portsmouth in the League One semi. Just take your time, ball goes out of play, you get a free kick, just stop, kill the game, waste vital seconds. It's game management, it's really important.
We'll bring you details on that 4th substitution for Cray Valley in just a moment. I think the change is going to be made now. Let's get down to the touchline, find out who's coming on finally for Cray Valley. Ian Abrahams is down for us at touchline.
Callum Willock is coming on, player I know from his days at Boreham Wood. Ashley Sains is the man coming off. By the way, you asked about the dressing rooms. So the dressing rooms that Watford had yesterday, that Leyton Orient are in that today. Man City had yesterday, obviously Fowler in that. There are about 6 dressing rooms here. So the dressing rooms normally used by, for example, pop stars when they come to Wembley, and their entourages, they're the ones being used by Chertsey and by Cray Valley.
Top man Moose, good work. Goal kick to Cray Valley away to our left-hand side. So Callum Willock is indeed on for that final change. 37 years young. Played for the likes of Fulham and Peterborough. And then latterly teams like Staines and Lewis and Dulwich Hamlet. So an extra striker on there, as you would expect, and a defender taken off, David Connolly.
Yeah, just looking at how they're setting up here, I think they're still going to play the 3 at the back, but maybe Danny Smith is going to drop into there. It might be more like a 3-4-3. Really go for it.
Given away by Crossley for Chertsey. Josh James rolls it infield to Paul Semakula. Back to the halfway line. Everybody pretty much inside the Chertsey half of the field as Cray Valley look desperately for an equaliser. Good run down the left-hand side by Babalola. He's got to the byline. Has he won a corner? He has indeed. Sliding in was Flegg, and it's a corner to Cray Valley. And everybody, bar Danny Smith, is going forward. The corner's taken short. Babalola picks it up. Left-hand corner of the box, drives it goalwards. It's blocked away, and that's going to go out for another corner off Dave Taylor.
Yeah, really bright. It's almost come a little bit too late, though, here. We should have seen this earlier from Cray Valley. Took that corner quickly. Babalola with the strikes, gone out for a corner.
7 minutes of extra time to play. Chertsey 2-1 up in the FA Vase final, but Cray Valley have a corner kick. Edgar strikes it right-footed. Keeper doesn't really get there. He's helped out by a referee's whistle for a foul. And Chertsey can clear their lines, and the Chertsey fans opposite applaud and breathe a little easier. 2-1 it is then.
Yeah, big few minutes here coming up. Chertsey, again, it all comes down to game management. Can they see this out? It looks like, to me, I think it's Lewis Jackson. Yeah, they're going to try to aim for him from this goal kick. He's come on, the substitute. He's got a bit of height. Maybe he can win this first one. Here we go. Yeah,
he does
that's
win
good
the
play.
header, but he can't find Jake Baxter, who was caught on his heels a little. Cray Valley get it clear. Might drop for Denzel Gale on the halfway line. Swing and a miss from him. Allows Peacock to bring it away for Chertsey Town. 2-1 up Chertsey with 6 minutes of extra time to play on Talksport 2 in this FA Vase final. Now Sam Murphy. Oh, look for Genshev, who's gone back to the right-hand side, but the ball was played behind the Bulgarian, and Cray Valley have themselves a throw-in. Taken quickly.
No, they're in a hurry, aren't they? They're in a hurry now. They need to get the ball up the other end of the park.
Josh James now receives the ball down the right-hand side. for Cray Valley. Hits the ball diagonally, looking to pick out Babalola, who's now playing as a kind of left winger. Looking to isolate Lewis Jackson. Babalola comes infield from the left-hand touchline. Thought about a shot, tried to lay it infield for Edgar, but it was picked off by Sam Murphy. Plays it out to Genchev, still inside his own half for Chertsey. Murphy's gone on the overlap. Good run from Sam Murphy. He's got Crossley going in the inside right channel as he hooks the touchline here, Murphy. And he's forced to go infield, but that's a good ball infield because Lubo Genchev's in a bit of space here. Genchev gets 25 yards out, quite central, then backs away and finds Lewis Jackson, and it's all about possession now for Chertsey Town. 5 to go in extra time. It's 2-1 Chertsey.
It certainly is about possession. You don't see either fullback really venturing forward here. The back four is staying in the unit for Chertsey just in case on the turnover. It's up to those front players just to keep hold of it. Just waste time like this, get it into the corner.
Chance for Baxter to roll it back to Genchev at the edge of the area. And he tries to clip it goalwards, and it's an important touch from Andy Walker to put it behind for a corner kick. I'm not sure whether Lubo Genchev meant that, but on the spin, right-hand side of the area, clipped it towards the far post, and the Cray Valley goalkeeper puts it behind for a corner kick.
Well, I don't want to do him a disservice, but I actually think he does mean this. Lovely invention. Picks it up in the box. There's nothing on really. He knows he can't go for power here. He's got to try and dink it. Nearly came off.
Baxter receives the short corner from Andy Crossley. Chertsey keeping the ball where they want to have it, inside the defensive third of Cray Valley, with Chertsey 2-1 up on Talksport 2. Non-league finals day, Orient against Fyle to come at 4:15. But we've still got a few minutes to play here, and Quincy Rowe wins it for Chertsey Town with a 30-yard pile driver. Played a little 1-2 at the edge of the area with Lubo Genchev, ran onto the loose ball and caressed it into the bottom corner. That is that. Chertsey Town will surely lift the FA Vase this afternoon. 3-1 they lead.
Quincy Rowe with a wonderful little right foot finish here. Give and go between him and Gunchev, but what quality from the centre half. Look, he's had a superb game defensively, but would you believe it, he comes up, pops up at the other end with arguably the best goal of the game. Fantastic finish. Lovely little right foot curler from outside the box. Andy Walker, no chance in goal.
Wonderful strike from Quincy Rowe up from the back, playing at centre half. He normally plays in midfield, and that was the finish of a quality box-to-box midfielder from Quincy Rowe. Opened his body out as the ball was laid back into it by Genchev, bent it round Liam Hickey, and there's going to be a change made meantime on the touchline as Chertsey look to see things out. Ian Abrahams is down on touchline for us.
Jake Baxter got the second goal from the penalty spot. He is coming off, and coming on for the last couple of minutes is John Pomeroy. I have to say that all of the Chertsey bench were up and running towards the touchline when that goal went in. They know now they're going to be picking up silverware in about 5 minutes.
And John Pomeroy, in his fourth spell at Chertsey Town, came back in December 2011, a proper club legend. John Pomeroy, over, well, nearly 350 goals he scored for Chertsey Town. 3-1, and we've only got 2 minutes of extra time to play, but here come Cray Valley with a ball into the area. Might drop for Babalola outside the box. It's hastily cleared by Chertsey Town. It was another run down the right-hand side from Denzel Gale. Pomeroy gets his first touch, having just come on a substitute, and finds Crossley. Genchev screaming for it right-hand side, and he's been found by a long raking pass out to that far side. Genchev, he's got support from Sam Murphy as he goes into the box. Genchev hits the post. I think he was pushed onto the post by the goalkeeper Andy Walker to deny Chertsey a fourth, and Genchev so close to getting his goal of the afternoon.
What a save from Walker in goal. Terrific. Gunchev drives inside onto his left foot, bangs it at the near post, but Walker gets down ever so well, tips it onto the post, and it comes away.
Just over a minute of extra time to be played, plus whatever the referee wants to add on for stoppages. Crossley inside the area, tight to the byline, plays it across the face of goal, but Chertsey can't turn it home. Genchev was closest to it again, and Cray try and clear it downfield, but it's all going wrong for Cray Valley, and Chertsey are edging ever closer to triumph.
Well, they're finishing with a flourish here, Chertsey, they really are. I mean, there's a little bit of sentimental here, change in terms of bringing on Pomeroy. Obviously, as you say, a club legend, but I think that's really good management. I think he was waiting, hopefully, to get another goal, get in the lead, and then he'd bring him on. Pomeroy, key part of the club.
Josh James for Cray Valley. 30 seconds of extra time to play. Chertsey are nearly there, but here's a crossfield ball looking to pick out Babalola. Headed out by Sam Flegg, comes out to Babalola again, left-hand side of the box, few step overs from him, looks to take on Clay, still got it, gets to the byline, hits it against Peacock, and Cray Valley have a corner away to our right. 3-1 Chertsey.
I just have to be careful here, going to ground, I think it's Peacock, he dives in, Babalola gets to the byline, just stay on your feet, you don't want to give a penalty away, we've already seen that at the other end.
2 minutes of minimum stoppage time at the end of extra time. And Cray Valley can't get the ball back yet because it's gone out over the moat and into some of the rows of empty seats on the far side, but eventually Edgar has it, will drive the corner in. Babalola rises for the header, out comes Jupp, good two-handed punch clear. Recycled by Denzel Gale. And Cray Valley have it again, right-hand side. Ball played into the box, there's people at the far post for Cray Valley, 3 of them up there. Babalola was up there, Semakula, one of them got the touch, but it went the wrong side of the post, and Chertsey have a goal kick, 3-1 up.
God, had an overload there. Should have done better, arguably hit the target. 3 players completely unmarked. I got to say, on the balance of things, Chertsey, they do deserve this victory. After the first half, they've been superb, had much the better of the second and in extra time.
So the first minute of stoppage time at the end of extra time is done and dusted. Nick Jupp for Chertsey, clears downfield. A foul awarded to Chertsey Town, a push. Will give Chertsey a free kick, midway point of the Cray Valley half, and they will play out time, and they are getting ready to celebrate in blue and white, both on the bench and in the stands opposite us in the south end. Free kick taken short. Lewis Jackson rolls the ball into the feet of Crossley, tries to play a 1-2 with Pomeroy, but that'll go through to the Cray keeper. Andy Walker thumps it downfield early, looking to get Willock away. Headed out of play by Peacock. The referee blows the whistle, and Chertsey Town have won the FA Vase for the first time in their history. Twice before they've reached the quarter-finals, but today they've gone all the way, and gone all the way through extra time, and won it. It took an extra time goal from Quincy Rose, striding forward from the back to guide it past the keeper for a 3-1 victory. That after a first half penalty in extra time, stroked home by their top scorer Jake Baxter. They're taking the acclaim of the blue and white hordes of fans on the far side of Wembley Stadium. Well, the curfews won't have any curfew tonight. They can stay out as late as they want because they have triumphed over Cray Valley in the FA Vase final with a final score after extra time of Chertsey Town 3, Cray Valley 1.
Don't go anywhere. Talksport 2 still have the FA trophy to bring to you live commentary of that between Leyton Orient and AFC Fylde from 4:15. But in their 129-year history, one of the finest days at Chertsey Town. It's their name going on the FA Vase here at Wembley. And David Conley, they just came through stronger.
They certainly did. I mean, look, they were quality. Second half, all of half, extra time as well. They looked like the better team. They were in the ascendancy. They grew into the game, and you've got to say they thoroughly deserved the victory. They scored some terrific goals. I mean, see, the one from Quincy Rowe was superb, and you know, it's wonderful for them to win at Wembley. You know, you don't get the chance that often in your career, and they grabbed it with both hands. They've won a double.
It's another club that have secured a double this afternoon. Chertsey Town adding the FA Vase to their combined counties Premier Division win this season as well. If it was a contentious moment leading up to the Jake Baxter penalty to make it 2-1 to Chertsey in extra time, Quincy Rowe, by the way, has won the Sponsors Man of the Match. Certainly decided it with aplomb, didn't he?
He did, but what I would say is defensively he was brilliant. I mean, you know, left-sided centre-half, got a lovely left foot, he covered across ever so well. He dealt with the threats that Cray had, which were a lot. I mean, the front two, as we know, proven goal scorers in much higher level than this. And so, yeah, terrific. And he capped it all with an absolutely brilliant finish.
There's a real sea of blue and white opposite us. Around 3,000 Chertsey Town fans that have made the short trip to the National Stadium this afternoon are currently enjoying their moment with Dave Anderson's side, who fought hard, battled hard and came through, showing their quality at the last, needing extra time to get the better of Cray Valley. Kevin Watson and his players, Dave, how are they feeling? They gave their everything first half and they left themselves a little short, didn't they, in the second, and then what we saw in extra time.
Yeah, they certainly did. I mean, in the opening phases, the front two were a real handful. I mean, they scored a terrific goal, don't get me wrong. Tomlin attacking down this side against Peacock, cutting side. It was brilliant. They got back into the game, Chertsey, when really they probably didn't really look like getting back into the game. Anyway, they took their chance, and since then, after that, they just grew and grew and grew. I mean, and the goal from Quincy Rowe was, it was worthy of Wembley. It really was. It was a fantastic finish.
Jake Baxter from a penalty spot at 2-1. It's a key moment. It's tired minds, it's tired bodies, it's cost Cray Valley.
Yeah, I mean, they were in the ascendancy. Look, it was coming. It was coming somewhere or another.
It's a huge moment. It's a pivotal moment. Some guy dives in when we've spoke about already. Probably doesn't need to. He makes it very difficult, very easy, I should say, for his opposition number there to just make the fall really than anything, even if the contact is minimal.
Yes, that's right. I mean, look, he's gone to ground. He wasn't going to get there. Guncheb, who'd been brilliant, and Dale Beans, who'd come off. Their wide men were excellent for Chertsey. You got to say they really were probably the players of the game, along with Quincy Rowe. And yet he's gone to ground. He had really no chance of getting it. It was a desperation sort of challenge, just trying to win the ball. Tired minds, tired legs. In the end, was it in? Was it out? It was borderline. I think his momentum carried him into the box, and look, terrific pen who put away. Even if they hadn't got that pen, I think Chertsey looked like they were going to get a goal somehow, and they thoroughly deserved the victory.
Dance, a real tale of two halves in the 90. Chertsey coming through thanks to those goals in extra time, but rightly so, the Cray Valley players also striding over to the far side, where a few hundred Cray Valley fans have stayed, and they will richly applaud their side that when they go up and collect their runners-up medal.
They will, but they will remember that they've also won a league title this year, so they will be playing at step 4 of non-league football next season. That has to be foremost in their minds, despite the obvious disappointment of losing out here. Having gone ahead, they had their moments, particularly they deserved to be ahead when they scored in the first half. Chertsey had started the first 15 minutes well, but I thought Cray Valley applied themselves really well. But Chertsey must have had strong words, stern words from Dave Anderson at half-time. They came out battling, and Cray Valley really just had no answer by the end of it all.
It's a great little moment here. The Chertsey Town players are now exchanging a moment over the advertising hoardings with their very close friends and family. I think it's Lewis Driver that has managed to pinch himself a flag as well as he unfurls that and throws it about. Ian Abrahams is down there as well. He'll be gaining some reaction for us. He's down there. Ian Abrahams, who you got?
I got Dale Binns alongside me. Dale, first of all, well done. Congratulations.
Thank you. Very, very tough game, but the boys did well, and in the end, the energy and the class came through.
It was a long slog, but in the end, quality goal from Quincy.
Yes, game could have gone either way at the end, but Quincy Rowe, unbelievable, great goal.
30 yards, 1-2, and then just curls it in the corner.
Yes,
hey, you've been
my
on the
missus
screen.
and my little boy mascot, done it all for them really. It's been a great day.
Many congratulations. Do you ever think you might win at Wembley?
Do you know what? Played here for Stevenage many years ago, and I didn't get on the pitch, and I never thought I'd get another chance. And start of the season, come out with time and play with these boys, and I just thought, you know what? Just take one game at a time, and then you look at 40 odd games later, and we're here. Unreal. Fairy tale stuff.
Brilliant stuff. Dale Binns, many congratulations. Players are going to be going up and getting their medals in it. Jake Baxter, just a quick second. You scored a penalty, great penalty.
Yeah, cheers, thank you. No, it's nerve-wracking when you step up, but I've scored a few this season, so I knew where I was going, and it's a good penalty. So.
And what was the celebration?
Well, one of my good mates, Eagles, his dad passed away, so I was good. He always celebrated like an eagle, so I ran off doing the eagle, got the better of me, done a somersault, so...
Jake, I better let you go, because they're going up to get their medals. You're getting yours soon. Well done.
Thanks a lot, cheers.
We are danced.
Moose, thank you very much. Pitch side, some views there from Dale Binns, who was excellent when out on that surface at Wembley. And Jake Baxter, David Connolly, as the Cray Valley players begin that stride up the Wembley steps to pick up their runners-up medal in the FA Vase final. Baxter, 40 goals this season, you just kind of knew from the spot, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I mean, it didn't look in doubt. He took it with real confidence into the corner, came across the ball, and yeah, terrific. I mean, look, he had a fairly quiet game. He didn't really threaten. It's hard for him because he's up there by himself as that lone front man, and he just needed a little bit of support. It wasn't really there in the first half, but you got to say, in the second they were excellent. And obviously, Dave Anderson bringing on John Pomeroy, which I think is really good man management, because if it had left him on the sideline, he didn't get on the pitch, it wouldn't be a good way maybe to go out, but terrific man management.
How much credit does Dave Anderson have to take for the changes tactically that he made at half-time, which saw a vast improvement in performance, but also the way they're able to nullify what Cray Valley threw at them first half?
Yeah, I mean, they just held their full-backs in a little bit tighter, more compact, that back four, you know,
a shield in there as well, yeah.
Bit of a shield with McLaren, so to prevent those balls into the forwards' feet. And maybe that, as Dance said, was there a few choice words, or is that Dave Anderson's style? He looks like quite relaxed, he's older, more mature. Maybe he might have been very calm in there and said, you know, come on, that's not quite good enough. Can we get back to playing at our usual best? And as it is, they just really ramped it up in that second half. They were much, much better.
In a few moments, Chertsey Town will be making the walk, we're all a bit envious of, up the Wembley steps to collect the FA Vase. The Dave Anderson side came through in extra time, 3-1 over Cray Valley. Huge quality shown by both sides, but in extra time coming through, of course, Dave Anderson's side. Dave Conning, what a wonderful atmosphere it is, as the atmosphere really continues to build ahead of the FA Trophy. More Leyton Orient fans are starting to take their seats to take in this trophy, hoping they'll see something similar for their side in the FA Trophy against AFC Fylde a little later on here on Talksport 2. But the quality that we saw there in the FA Vase was excellent as well.
Yeah, look, the players left everything out on that pitch, didn't they? Loads of tired bodies out there, because the occasion does get to you, not only physically, because it's a big old pitch, you know, and you've got to do a lot of running. Obviously it went to extra time as well, but just a mental toll that it can take, you know, the preparation, the nerves, all that energy just saps it out of your body. So there's a few tired legs, but look, if you come away a winner, it's all worth it.
Well, Chertsey Town are beginning to make that walk, led by their manager Dave Anderson. Calling the trophy lift for Talksport 2, Ian Danter.
Yes, Dave Anderson used to play a game called Wembley on the streets of Rathcoole in North Belfast, Northern Ireland. Now he's winning at Wembley as he leads Chertsey Town up the steps on this near side of the field to us in their blue and white striped shirts to go and collect their inaugural FA Vase Cup. Having won their league this year, what a terrific season for the Curfews. Such great story for Dave Anderson, who, when he first took over at Chertsey Town, crowds were around about 40. Now they average about 200. And for the semi-final against Northwich Victoria, it was more like 1,800 to 2,000 fans that went to watch them play. And now, the 3,000 or so fans that have travelled up from Surrey are seeing their team win arguably the greatest prize that they've ever achieved in their 129-year history. The players now reach the top of the steps to the sort of landing halfway between pitch level and where they will collect the trophy, whilst the Cray Valley players who've already received their losers' medals from the Royal Box have all now made their way back downstairs and are standing pitch side, just contemplating what might have been, David Connolly.
Yeah, they are. Obviously it's always a mournful occasion when you don't win. You know, you come to Wembley, it's all about winning, so really disappointing for them. They played their part, but to be honest, they lost to the better side here. I thought Chertsey was superb, especially after that first 45.
Dave Anderson, the Chertsey Town manager, makes his way down the line of the dignitaries in the front row of the Royal Box. Kevin Watson looks on and applauds. Could have been me, he thinks, but instead it's the likeable man from North Belfast who actually went for a toilet break during the course of the game. I don't know whether anybody noticed. He disappeared off to the dressing rooms to make sure he could take care of the call of nature. Well, the call now is FA Vase winners for 2018-19 of Chertsey Town, as the players, including some of the unused substitutes, including Lewis Gallifent, collect their medals. And now the trophy is handed to the captain, Kevin McLaren, and Chertsey Town become FA Vase winners for 2018-19, their inaugural success in this trophy to add to their league title. Chertsey have done the double. Many, many congratulations to the Surrey club. Our commiserations to Cray Valley, who will come again. And now we wait for the trophy lift to be handed to the players by the FA dignitaries. Kevin McLaren just making space and making sure that those around him are ready to thrust it skywards. And up goes the trophy, off go the pyrotechnics, and Chertsey Town are the FA Vase winners.